On your show, you're like, Andy wants to believe it's true. I was right.
You know what I was doing, Andy?
What?
Lying.
All right.
I was lying. And I want to say, I appreciate your respect as a man while I'm talking about that, to have both your hands above the screen. I do appreciate it.
Exactly. We got this Fire Me Up special.
You're a godly man.
Welcome to the Kino Casino for May 26, 2024.
Ash.
Oh, what a few days it has been since last we were live with Josh Moon.
Retweet. Everyone,
Hasn't it
for
been,
real.
Folks?
Retweet.
Hasn't it been quite a few wonderful fucking days?
I need 100 RTs.
Full news report. Yes. Before we get into anything,
retweet.
We need retweets on the tweet that's pinned. We need you to subscribe to the clip channel because this is all going to be clipped up afterwards.
Hit like on everything. We're getting over 300 subs a day.
But we get the article. We get the Fox News 9 article. Regional Minnesota News confirming REKIETA lives in a slovenly, disgusting, moldy, dirty, festering crack den. Just a filthy drug den. Clothes all over the place, dirty dishes, mold, filth on the floors. It was looking like the cockroaches crack shack, folks. This is what Nick REKIETA was living in.
At least
Cog. 5 children. At least Cog didn't have children.
No, at least
living in the festering, shitty fucking mess rackets.
Right?
What the fuck is wrong with this bum?
When I read that article.
But could we even be surprised? He couldn't even be bothered to feed his kids SpaghettiOs, folks. So why are we surprised he couldn't even be bothered to clean up the filth of the drug den? Or his wife take even 5 minutes out of her Xanax-fueled Star Trek day to fucking clean the mess of the filthy crack den? Disgusting. Children living there. REKIETA endangering his child by refusing to open the door for law enforcement, even though they had a warrant, to where they rammed down the door in his little daughter's face. She like 12 years old? This is REKIETA's choices. This is the man that Nicholas fucking REKIETA is. A dirty fucking junkie. He had a dirty fucking filthy polycule mistress around his kids. It's all confirmed. He's a scumbag. He's a fucking lowlife. And a lot of people out there right now are babying this man. They're powdering his ass, putting the, oh, it's okay. Oh, isn't it so sad? Oh, shouldn't we feel bad for him? Oh, you know, guys, we should cut him some slack. Oh, no, not on this fucking show. He's getting enough mercy elsewhere. No mercy in this casino for REKIETA. There's a child abuse neglect charge, either physical or sexual abuse.
May I say one thing?
I'm going to get physical abuse instead of sexual abuse. But when you have to cop the plea to either or, and the lesser of two evils is that we beat our kids, or that we didn't feed them, or that we exposed them to drugs, guess what? It's not good.
Let's go. You're right, Ashton.
It's filth. Are you kidding me?
Fuck you, uncivil law.
This is what we're supposed to accept.
Uncivil law is scum.
That it was wrong for the priest to report that children were living in a drug den of filth. In this fucking household, the pastor is a hero.
Yes,
because he fucking is. He might have saved those children's lives. Let's be real. He might have actually saved REKIETA and Kayla's fucking lives as well.
He did.
And the lives of April. Because these motherfuckers were insane. They had an ounce of cocaine,
drinking,
ketamine,
guns, spent shells.
What are we fucking talking about here? They have spent gun shells on the floor. They're either one, shooting off guns, out of their mind, drunk and high, in a house with 5 children, or 2, they're taking the fucking gunpowder and mixing it with cocaine, like some sort. They're like seriously, like some sort of fucking African warlord, like like junkies that are fucking insane. What are we doing here, folks?
Ash, for real. Okay, look. All right. So first of all, Aaron is from STEELTOE Morning Show. Will be here soon, right? Hear this. Now, by the way, he's ready to reveal everything. And this is what he DM'd me. Okay, he's going to be on soon. But hear this. Dude, the police report does not do what was happening at the House justice. He said, Andy, I'm ready to expose every little thing tonight.
Good.
You know what? And I was saying
he's ready. Look, he's ready.
Look, there will be some hardballs towards him, obviously. But I'll say one thing. At least the motherfucker got out and did the right thing. At least the motherfucker. Look, we've all done fucking stupid shit in our lives. And, you know, I've been at that phase where you're on drugs, you're all fucked up. But at least he woke up and was like, you know what? This has to stop. I'm going to fucking try to, like, make things right. And I respect that. I got to respect that.
I mean, the truth
will
set you free, Aaron. Once you get it all off your chest, once it's all out there in the world, you will have done the right thing. I'm just saying, guys, let's give him a chance here.
Yes.
Let's give him a chance to speak the truth, to embarrass REKIETA, to destroy it.
Yes.
Because right now, I'm telling you this. We're actually in danger of seeing the public narrative become that REKIETA was the victim.
Yes!
Already, LawTube is trying to either blame it on the pastor, which is insane, or even worse, blame it on the children.
Yeah!
Like, whoa!
I love these fucking pieces of shit. They go after people like us going, oh, these guys are drama farming. When meanwhile,
you know what?
You all...
We're honest. No. We're honest.
What? Well, yes.
We're honest about it.
Well, yes.
We are drama farming. But you know what? We actually are doing more of what's righteous than what you guys are.
Yes.
Because we were blowing the whistle. We were sounding the alarm. There's something not right here. Won't somebody intervene? Won't somebody do something? And every one of you LawTube bums didn't lift a single fucking finger to help this fucking family.
And now we're
to help the children.
Look,
to help. No, we're the pieces of shit
now
for laughing at him, exposing it, telling him to get fucking help. And there were speeches that I gave during this REKIETA arc where it was like real, like come to Jesus, fire and brimstone preaching. REKIETA, you have children. REKIETA, you can't do this. REKIETA, we care about you. Don't fucking burn it all down. And he didn't fucking listen.
Yeah.
He refused to listen. And even still, he defends his behavior. Even still, he's completely coping. He's telling all of you, me, you, everybody, you didn't see what you saw. You know,
they did field tests. They did field tests.
They field tested it positive for cocaine.
And
an ounce of cocaine.
But Ash, hear how bullshit this is. They go, we're covering it, so we're pieces of shit for covering it. When meanwhile, they're doing speculation. What the is LawTube? That's all you guys do is watch other people suffer and cover it. Shut the fuck up. You do the same shit.
No better
That's
than
your
anybody
job.
else.
That's your job.
That's what they do. That's what they do.
How about this? Oh, fucking when Amber Heard, that case. Amber Heard before she was guilty.
Hold on, no. Like, shouldn't they have said that they deserve their privacy?
Right?
Shouldn't they have said, like, hey, don't these people deserve their privacy even though she's shitting in the bed and cutting off this guy's finger?
But guys, it was a bad moment.
Privacy?
It was a bad moment in their lives.
But we can't cover the polycule. We can't cover the cocaine, the ketamine, the child abuse, physical or sexual abuse. God only knows what the fuck is going on. We can't cover that. But you guys, it's totally okay.
The Rittenhouse trial, right? The Rittenhouse trial making fun of and I agreed with them, with LawTube, all the people who were against Rittenhouse, but they weren't like I didn't see you guys care. You made jokes, all this stuff, and that's fine. But,
no, but we
why
have
is
to
Nick
be reverent.
exempt?
No,
Why?
but Nick Rekieta is a saint. He's a king.
He's a
He
scumbag.
did nothing wrong. And what's going to happen, he's going to come back. He's going to say the police planted these drugs. He's going to say he's like O.J. Simpson. This is a conspiracy against him for speaking out against Biden, for speaking out against elected officials. Everybody in LawTube's going to give him a break, say, of course, he never did any drugs. He didn't have a problem with alcohol. He didn't endanger his children to the point that the pastor at the church felt the need to step in. No. This is all Joe Biden's doing. This is a satanic pedophile cabal. Do you understand that the actions that Rekieta is doing are very similar to the actions that we accuse the satanic cabal of doing?
Yeah.
Like, the guy is swinging in a polycule, doing Hollywood lines of cocaine, going down K-holes on ketamine. Who knows if he's injecting this shit, doing the brown. He's mixing cocaine with fucking gunpowder. He's going to weird, like, hedonism events to have his wife get fucking blacked. Like, really? We're actually, like, this is what's going to happen. It's going to be pivoted to, it's the Illuminati trying to put Rekieta down. He was an innocent, wholesome family man. And this is just f***ed. It's all his own actions. It's all his own behavior. The Illuminati didn't make him go to the sodomy barn. The Illuminati did not make him put on the fucking Baldo. Joe Biden didn't make him snort that cocaine. Do you understand? Joe Biden didn't force him to store his guns all over the fucking place and fire them off like a crazy fuck in the middle of the night. But this is the defense that we're going to get. This is the defense. It's going to be the craziest, wildest conspiracy ever. I'm telling you right now, there'll be no plea deal. Rekieta will fight this to the bitter end in the court of law to try and prove his innocence. He will gaslight his audience, tell you to reject the reality that your own eyes have seen, to reject the testimony that Aaron's about to give tonight, to reject the testimony that Sean's going to give tonight of seeing one of his friends spiral and go down the fucking shitter and mentally deteriorate at the hands of substances. He's going to tell you to just totally close your... You didn't see that. You didn't hear that. Don't believe your lying eyes. Instead, believe the Pope of LawTube. Well, we don't believe you because you're a lying sack of shit. You're an arrogant Baldo-selling bum. And you're going to be exposed tonight badly.
Nice.
And you're going to be exposed tonight bigly. And I just hope that in some way this helps the family that he's shafted. Because he really has shafted them. And what's fucked up is when a 400-pound Canadian and an ex-cokehead and Andy give more of a fuck about your children than you do.
For real.
You understand? Mr. Medicare was, I honestly, last night, guys, if you listen to Jim, he sounded on the verge of tears.
Or at the end? The last 20 minutes.
I kind of think he was, like, tears were coming from his eyes.
We might have to watch at the end of the show that last 20 minutes, bro.
That's how much he cares about you and your family. But you don't. You don't. The only thing you care about is drugs. The only thing you care about is booze. The only thing you care about is sexual degeneracy and gooning and pushing it to the next extreme and the next extreme and the next extreme at the cost of everything around you because you're a degenerate, drug-addled fucking bum of a human being.
No.
You are no better than the junkies that the rest of us step over on the fucking sidewalk. You've given it all away for that next hit. And guaranteed right now, folks, he's still not sober.
No way.
He still hasn't checked himself into rehab. Because if he was to check himself into rehab, it'd be an admission of guilt. Sir, you're guilty. There's no way around it. You're dead to fucking rights. They have you with an ounce of cocaine. They have you with 8 ketamine pills. They have you with gunshots going off in your house.
Mysterious
With
brown
scales
substance.
In your house. April's probably already turned state and is going to testify against you that you were selling coke. You're going to have to weave the most batshit insane conspiracy imaginable to try and make this go away. And guess what? It's not. You're guilty. You're guilty as f***, And you know what you should do? You should go to rehab. You should show some contrition. You should show some remorse and hope that the judge that you called a stupid bitch, both to her face in an elevator years ago.
Wait, I didn't hear about that.
Yes, he's called this judge a stupid bitch to her face in the past. Whoa. Because his clients have lost in front of this judge. This judge who you just on live stream were talking about, pussy, alcohol juice.
Pussy juice.
Pussy juice. The most demented shit I've ever heard. Calling her stupid and dumb and she doesn't understand the law. You understand, she's in charge of this case. You're not winning. You're going to lose. You need to plead out, but you're not going to. You're going to fight this to the bitter end because you can never, ever, ever admit that you're wrong. And you know what's going to happen after Aaron tells his truth tonight? Instead of REKIETA just shutting his fucking mouth and accepting it and fighting it in the court of law, he'll fire it up. Mm-hmm. He's going to respond and he's going to be pissed off. And we're going to have a situation very similar to Vickers versus Ralph. That's what we're going to have.
At a bigger scale. At a way bigger scale.
On a way bigger scale.
Yeah.
It's going to be an absolute cluster, folks. So strap yourselves in.
He's here in half an hour.
Strap yourselves in. He's going to be here in a half hour.
Yeah. Thanks, Ash. An amazing rant in the background there. I was talking with Aaron and with Flake, making sure all the mics were set up proper, the cameras. We're all ready to. And the way he was DMing me, he's like, Andy, we're going for it. We're going all the way. He's like, and he even said, he goes, by the way, if while talking with about the kids, I cry, please don't call me a. But no promises there. Listen, sorry. So I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Obviously,
I'm not here to call him names.
Me either.
Whatever.
No, I'm just joking. Yeah.
But I'm here to just burn REKIETA down.
It's about time.
Because it's time. You know, he really sowed the wind. He's going to reap the whirlwind on this shit.
Yeah. No, he has.
It'd be one thing if he'd shown any remorse at all. He should already be in rehab.
Yeah.
Instead, he's drunk and high. And you can sit there and cope. No, he's not. He's really taking this seriously. No, he's not.
Well by the way, Ash, you know what's really funny? I have to say to you from the last show, I'm sorry. I was doubting you hard on the last show. I was like, this has to be his rock bottom. At least don't respond. You don't want to fuck yourself up in court. I understand. At least just shut the fuck up. But to come out and go, you're all pieces of shit. Fuck you. Your rehab.
You know nothing of the situation.
Know nothing. How about you shut the fuck up and log off for a second? But you were like, no, guys, this is not his rock bottom, and you were right, ladies and gentlemen. I was doubting it though. I was like, there's no way.
His rock bottom when he's still got all that money in the bank. He
True.
Still has the house to live in. Yep. He still has probably his drug dealer connection that he can get drugs from. He's definitely not going to provide that to the police to help himself. You know?
Yeah.
He's still got an ability to buy booze. And so he's just going to keep drinking. He's going to keep doing drugs. And people have said, oh, well, the conditions say he can't. Well, he's either going to be violating those conditions or apparently, and I don't know how much truth there is to this, and maybe Sean later on will shed some light to this.
Sean will be here soon, yep.
If REKIETA spent the full $50,000 and didn't use a bondsman, then those conditions not to drink and use drugs aren't on him, apparently. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to assume he did do that, went $50,000 out of pocket on his bail bond, and he's drunk as out of his mind doing drugs right now. And that's why he's battling with random people on Instagram.
He's on drugs right now watching.
Just to echo Jim, like, is it worth it? Is it worth it to fight with these random people on Instagram? How about instead of fighting with those random people on Instagram, you'd spend that time getting clean? How about you spend that time apologizing to the family members that you've inconvenienced and embarrassed? How about you spend that time going into church today and apologizing to the members of the congregation and speaking to them and expressing your penitence? How about you spend that time checking into rehab? There are about 1 million more productive things you could be doing than arguing with random people on Instagram that don't matter at all. Mm-hmm. But he has to be right. He can never be wrong. And he can never just take it, even from some random fucking loser on
Right.
Instagram.
By the way, real funny too. So you were talking about earlier how you had your speeches about, to Nick in between our jokes and calling him out. We were like, you were very honest and like, you have to repent and da-da-da. And me, as an ex-coke user, I was like, this will ruin your life. You have to stop now. Trust me, you could do it. Da-da-da-da. We were very like motivational. But how about this, Nick? The people that you hung out with and let enable you, Dick Masterson, Ethan Ralph, all these fucks, they're all laughing at you now. How does it feel that you didn't listen to us because you thought we were a fucking bunch of Canadians and listen to your buddies who, the minute you were arrested, fired up a stream and went, ha ha, fuck
They
you,
laughed at you.
fuck you, couldn't be me. Ralph instantly, I mean, who's shocked? Who is shocked? No one.
Put that
We
knife
are
in your back.
instantly. If you listen to the two assholes who were giving you good advice, look, we are assholes. I'm not fucking lying about that, but we're assholes who speak a little bit of truth within our assholeness.
Well,
Go
I'd
ahead,
say
sorry.
a lot of truth.
A lot of
The reason why a lot of the commentary on this show hurts so much to the people who are on the receiving end of it is because it is true. We have 24 minutes, so let's try and get through some of the previous day's events just to refresh people who might not be familiar. So let's go into the REKIETA Fox 9 article folder.
Okay. Oh, let me share
REKIETA
that to you.
folder.
Yep. I have it open. Let me just share it to you. 1 second. I was just talking.
And
to
we'll
Aaron
go
there.
over this briefly. We'll go over some of the pictures from the bail hearing. Now, we weren't originally going to watch the entire bail hearing because it's like of dubious legality. However, Darkside Phil has reacted to the entire arraignment hearing. Yes.
Let's go.
I think we have no choice but to risk it for the biscuit.
Sheesh.
And at some point, either tonight or tomorrow, watch Darkside Phil's reaction. And I've watched some of it. It's so good. He's so smug. He's like, it's only been 2 weeks, guys, and already he's been arrested. Darkside just dabbing. Just dabbing on his grave. So here's the headline. Nick REKIETA. I love just how his name rather is right in the headline. So anytime people search him up, I wonder if I should go on that show. This'll pop up. Nick REKIETA, Minnesota lawyer and YouTuber facing drug charge, blames unknown man named Jim. Amazing that Fox News got the whole story, that he's blaming Mr. Medicare for his problem.
Yeah.
Great reporting from Fox. Let's go into the article here. Let's see if we can zoom in.
Yeah, hang on. Let me just.
Yeah, there we
No,
go.
I got it.
Minnesota-based lawyer and online legal analyst Nick REKIETA is facing a drug charge in Kandiyohi County. REKIETA was arrested Thursday alongside his wife Kayla and a fellow online personality. Prosecutor, and isn't that how it is with this whole thing, by the way? Is April's just a fellow online personality to REKIETA.
I think
some
she streams.
random. Yeah. Anyway. For second-degree possession, child endangerment, and a gross misdemeanor firearm charge. Go to the next slide.
Dude.
According to the charges, law enforcement attempted to execute a search warrant on May 23rd at REKIETA's home in Spicer and was greeted by a girl at the front door who would not let them inside. So REKIETA then, so this is how it happened. Now, this is kind of convoluted, the timeline. Apparently, there is body cam footage, and it may or may not be released next week. So we have that to look forward to, because there have already been requests for it, and if REKIETA goes to trial, I think it certainly will be made public, but we'll have to see. But essentially what happened is REKIETA was out of the house. He was driving home. The officer apprehended him, and basically there was officers at the house, and there was an officer with REKIETA. REKIETA got home. They told him to give the code for the door.
Yeah.
As the little girl was at the door refusing to open it, REKIETA refused to give them the code, even though he was shown a valid warrant.
He threw it on the floor. On the floor.
So we'll get there. And then they broke down the door. But after REKIETA refused to provide the door code, law enforcement used a door ram to get inside. and found Kayla M. Holte and 4 juveniles inside. So this means one of REKIETA's children was missing, which is interesting as to where that child was and why. We don't know. We can only speculate. But law enforcement proceeded to search the master bedroom and bathroom, where they found a variety of drug paraphernalia, including 3 small baggies that tested positive for cocaine, 8 green tablets that tested positive for ketamine, a digital scale, and several other items that tested positive for cocaine.
Jesus.
Authorities found a 6-hour assault rifle with several magazines and loose ammunition underneath the bed, a spent shell casing on the bedroom floor. They located additional firearms and ammunition in the garage. Police took REKIETA and his wife into custody, and he told law enforcement that he and his wife stayed in the master bedroom, where law enforcement claimed to find most of the drug paraphernalia, but allegedly refused to answer questions about the cocaine, according to court records. Before his arrest, some online users had raised concern about REKIETA's health this week, sharing a clip of him appearing to doze off during a stream. Well, I don't know if it was him dozing off or if it was him jerking off, him getting sucked off, or what. But it was quite the clip. It was.
I love how like we're the crazy ones for our theories, but it's like, is everyone watching the same clip? They're like, it looks like he's just like having a little seizure. I'm like, anyway. Here we go.
Law enforcement noted REKIETA had several injuries to his arms at the time of arrest. They described the injuries as sores that are common with controlled substance users. So was he actually injecting shit? Was he injecting heroin? Was he mixing the cocaine with gunpowder and injecting it? Like, what the was this guy doing? Like, seriously. And then we're still being told, oh, don't worry, he didn't do anything wrong.
Or did he fire, like in the backyard, fired off a round and brought in the casing? Like, what happened?
This is Kayla. This is the mother of 5 children, housewife, homemaker, Christian, laid low, made into a dirty crackhead junkie. That's Kayla. Just looking like any common, like, crackhead thief off the street. Next slide.
You know, someone said in her comments that she looks like she's already spent 10 years in jail.
Yeah. No, for real. She looks like she spent serious time. Look at her here, wiping her filthy fucking nose in the county orange.
No. And look at
the
this.
Charge: neglect. Child knowingly permit physical/sexual abuse. Now, this charge could mean a number of things. Some people have said that it just means that she wasn't feeding her kids, or that she allowed her kids to get beaten, or that the kids were exposed to drugs. Look at
the way you said that, though, that how people are saying it just means she wasn't feeding their kids.
Yeah, the best case scenario is she wasn't feeding her kids.
The best case scenario is look at him here. Look at this guy. My gosh. Oh no, but it's fine. We're crazy.
It's going totally fine, guys.
We're nuts, guys. Oh, we have the Holte too.
And then there it is. April, this is what she said, that her charges were dropped and she's not an addict. She says, someone else did this to me. So the betting public right now is betting that she is just completely flipped on the REKIETAs, that she's going to be testifying against them. She's going to create this narrative that REKIETA indoctrinated her into this, got her into the drugs. It's all his fault. They're really
she's going to flip hard.
Well, do you know who else flipped on him? His own lawyer. So if we go to folder 3, we see that his own lawyer in the Montegraph case has snaked on him by just saying the truth. So his own lawyer is saying this. He says he drank hard with Jay Rushy and was blind to his addiction until it killed him. This is heavy shit.
Whoa.
He goes, I enabled it. I'll never forgive myself. Nobody will ever talk me out of it. and I miss him every day. If you're actually friends with REKIETA Law, then don't do what I did.
Oh
He
my.
followed up with another comment.
What the
He says, I'm not laying blame on anyone close to him. The only person I'm condemning is myself. Just trying to encourage anyone who can help him to do so.
Thank God.
You understand, when your own lawyer, who you're spending tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars on, comes out and says you have a fucking problem and people need to help you, maybe it's time to fucking listen. But no, of course not. REKIETA's got all the cope lined up.
But by the way, we're the assholes because we're covering this.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, for sure. Here we go. Here's REKIETA Law. It's on Insta, right?
Yeah.
I wish I could express that what people saw.
By the way,
Yeah.
notice how he immediately has a typo, but he's definitely not high or drunk.
Yeah.
Like, if you're being accused of being a drug addict, I would make sure, if you're going to post to own the haters, which is not advisable, you shouldn't be posting anything at all. But if you are, make sure there are no typos in your epic post to own the haters, right? Because he says he won't go to rehab because it's an admission of guilt, right? But when you post shit with typos, to me, and you're accused of being a drug addict and having an ounce of coke, it looks pretty bad also.
Yeah.
I wish and could express that what people saw isn't what they think they saw.
Look at this. Obviously, Jay can't confirm about. He means I. It's
But
not
he
even
didn't
on, it's not even on the same row.
Obviously,
It's not even the same row.
can't talk about my case yet. However, confirmation bias makes people see something they didn't actually see.
What the f?
It all is we're all such bitter, evil haters of the man that we just want to see him as an alcoholic. We want to see him as a drug addict. We want to see him as a guy in a polycule. We want to see him as a guy who wears the baldo. He didn't do any of those things. We're just seeing things. Now, mind you, Irate Gamer, who's a completely neutral observer, said he looked like a ghoul, like a skeleton. You know what I mean? Like, anybody, like people who are just coming into it now, like normies that have been alerted to this, they all say the same thing. He looks like an alcoholic. He's speaking like an alcoholic.
Yeah.
It looks like an alcoholic. It talks like an alcoholic. Everybody around him says he was an alcoholic. But no. We didn't see what we think we saw. You know, when we saw them in the hot tub swinging, and Aaron's going to testify to all of this later, when we saw them swinging in the tub and then them Holties got divorced, we didn't see that. You just saw what you wanted to see.
When we
We're
saw,
all fucking delusional.
So when I heard the rocks in the nose, the tight breathing from like a straw, it sounded like the coke on his nose, and I was like, I'm pretty sure this is coke. And then we find out there was coke there. I'm still crazy. Oh,
we all
okay.
saw something
Yeah.
else.
Oh, yeah, no.
He wishes he could tell us more about it, and he appreciates the love and the support.
But
Okay.
yeah, right. Oh yeah, because you have uncivil law.
That's just the beginning of it, but that's like the framework for his defense, is that we need to deny reality and be gaslit by him into believing a whole other line of bullshit. Now, people comment on this, say you are in complete denial. You and your wife should be checking yourself into rehab, not fighting with people on Insta. And he goes, checking yourself into rehab. Tell me you don't understand the justice system without telling me you don't understand the justice system. Well, REKIETA, this only makes sense if you plan on fighting this all the way, that you're going to have a full jury trial on these charges. Because if you're pleading this out and you understand the legal system, you would know you would get a way better deal, a way less harsh sentence if you were to go to rehab. But you're refusing to go to rehab, which indicates to me that stupidly you're going to fight all these fucking charges. And you say, well, it's an admission of guilt. You are guilty.
Yeah.
They have you dead
They
to rights.
found the fucking drugs as they walked in.
Like, I'm sorry, but REKIETA, you're not black. You're not O.J. Simpson, okay?
Sheesh.
Johnny Cochran is not going to, if the baldo doesn't fit, he must quit. That's not That's not going to happen. Your ass should have been in rehab yesterday.
Yeah.
For real. You should be in rehab right now, getting clean, getting sober, making a case to the judge that you should be able to see your kids. And if he really cared about his kids and he wasn't a selfish fucking douchebag, he'd be in rehab right now.
Right now.
He would be fighting to see his kids again. Instead, he's pretty much doing everything in his power to make it certain he won't see his kids again. But why would that be a surprise to anybody that he actually gives a fucking shit about his kids?
He doesn't care.
He doesn't fucking care about his kids because this is the junkie mentality. The only thing that matters to him is drugs. The only thing that matters to him is booze. The only thing that matters to him is his ego and being right. And so he's going to put that ahead of seeing his kids again.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be the one to say it. He's a disgusting fucking scumbag who resents his children for not allowing him to live the lifestyle he thinks he deserves, that of being a Hollywood celebrity cokehead. Bum.
You've been preaching it for years.
And I hear
now.
like all the Megan Fox, what's her name, from LawTube and others saying he's going to do a Robert Downey Jr., that he's going to turn his life around. You know what Robert Downey Jr. did? He went to rehab. He went to rehab and he got clean and he was penitent and he apologized and he ate a big bag of fucking shit over it.
And now look.
This guy wants us to eat the bag of shit. He wants Kiwi Farms to eat the bag of shit and say they're responsible, that Josh Moon is responsible, that Kino Casino is responsible, that Mr. Medicare is responsible, instead of just taking responsibility for his own drug habit. Do you know what I mean? For taking responsibility for not feeding his kids, taking responsibility for leaving his children in a dirty, disgusting, dilapidated drug den of a home. But it's your fault. You, the viewer at home, that laughed at him becoming a disgusting fucking loser, alcoholic bum. It's your fault for laughing at him.
Lolcow.
Come on. Come on.
Ash, look at this. I just was sent by Malcolm X. Real Malcolm X. Look at this.
So Barnes, Robert Barnes, this crazy cunt, Robert Barnes, is saying that the entire raid was unconstitutional and an overreach. Nick can fight to get this thrown out. Do you know what? Even if it does get thrown, which it won't. It wasn't an unconstitutional raid. They had a warrant. Like, get ready, because this is all going to be revealed. But even if it was all thrown out, we know that there was coke in the house. We know that he's an alcoholic. We know that he endangered his kids.
And Kay.
The house was filthy. There was ketamine. There was spent shell casings on the floor. We know what a fucking pathetic, worthless scumbag you are. And no matter what sort of slimy, shady, Better Call Saul lawyer you get in there to defend this and try and get it thrown out in a court of law, the truth is eternal. And the truth is what you will answer before God, the God that you claim to believe in, but clearly don't. You will answer before him in eternity, trembling on your fucking knees as to how you could allow your children, your flesh and blood, your seed that came from you, you understand? They are you. How you let them go hungry, how you let them go neglected, how you let them grow up in a drug den with dirty sex mistresses, cheapening their mother's honor in front of them, REKIETA. You still have to answer for that. And you have to answer for it in the court of man now, and you'll answer for it in the court of God later. Whoa. But he doesn't give a shit. He doesn't give a shit. I just want to show you guys, this is the next slide. This person just is trying to speak reality to him. Your house was raided. Drugs were found. Your children have been removed from your care. You could possibly go to prison, wake up, and stop being a narcissistic loser. Both of you go to rehab. That's just the truth. That's just plain and simple and unvarnished truth. And instead of just reading that and recognizing how fucked up he is and checking himself into rehab, or reading that and just being like, well, I disagree, they don't know the situation, but I'm going to move on and let the court settle it, he has to respond. Why? Why does he have to respond? And he tells him, eat shit.
We're all set.
You
Cool.
know nothing about the situation. You're a parasitic pile of garbage. Go f yourself. That's seriously what he said. You know nothing about the situation. Well, we have the police reports. We have the news reports. This person's probably been a fan of yours for years that used to look up to you and respect you and enjoy your content. And they've slowly watched as you've deteriorated into the worthless monster that you are today. And you're going to tell them that they know fucking nothing, to not believe their own lying eyes, and you're going to call them a parasitic pile of garbage. Why?
But Ash,
Because they cared about you?
even before we saw the police report, before he was arrested, you could see it. You knew there was drugs in the house. You knew, like we knew. Like it's not like he was like fully sober. It was, and then this happened, and we're like, "What the fuck?" He was like sober. He looked well. He looked healthy. He looked like he was like not on drugs.
Yeah.
No, it's you were on drugs the night before. Coke on your nose. Next day, they found coke. 1 + 1 = 2 in the situation. Sorry. They're like, oh, wait. If he was sober, hadn't been drinking, hadn't been doing drugs, and then was caught and went like, guys, you don't understand what happened. There was someone over at my house and they left some shit. I'd be like, okay, it's more believable. No. We saw you deteriorate over time. Not like it wasn't like a snap of the fingers. From sober to crackhead. No, stop.
It
Aaron's
wasn't
year 3.
like, it wasn't just like, one day he had a DUI,
Yeah.
And this was one bad night where he made some bad decisions.
Exactly.
He was drinking, and he got pulled over and he got popped or whatever. It's not like
That's
he just had
different.
a.
That's
it's
different.
not like he had like an 8-ball on him or less.
Partied
had
one
almost-
night and was like,
Oh.
fuck, like it was just like, I was tempted.
He had like a full ounce.
And scale.
Almost a full ounce with scales and
Guns and
paraphernalia
shit. Like, what the fuck?
and everything on him. He was deep into the
And
lifestyle.
we're going to hear,
honestly,
we're gonna hear
Andy,
the story. Yeah,
he
go
was
ahead.
deeper into that lifestyle than even you were.
By a lot. By way
Seriously.
more. I was just buying like every now and then and smashing lines and drinking. I wasn't selling. I wasn't around kids. I didn't have guns and spent shells. I didn't have scales.
Did you have like some greasy, dirty mistress on
No,
the side
no.
that you were embarrassing your wife and
I
children
was
with?
streaming high out of my mind like a re. And yes, and by the way, like, look, if you're watching and you party every now and then, I'm not even judging you. Have fun. Be careful. Don't do drugs. I suggest don't do drugs. And if you have kids, knock it the out. It's over. Stop it. Just stop it. Look, if you're like 23, you're college and you do a line, I'm not going to be like, you're a horrible human being.
Well,
No.
And let's be real too, guys. How do we know he wasn't dealing? Because somebody in chat's like, he was dealing. Why would he have the scales if he wasn't dealing? Why did he have multiple little baggies if he wasn't dealing? You know what I mean? Like, the thing is, when you're getting into these amounts of cocaine, in order to help fuel the cost of it, you might start dealing on the side. And he would see no problem ethically with dealing drugs.
When you're partying with people and shit, and remember, he's heading to these sex clubs.
He had a funnel.
I just want us all to see on the board behind me. I think it's very important for people to know we are powerless over our addictions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very good lesson to learn.
Okay.
We are
already.
We need a power, greater than ourselves.
All right.
To help us
before
through
we
these
get
things.
into
Let's
everything,
start.
why
Yeah,
don't
let's-
you let them know who you are, where they can watch your show, and all that?
Yeah.
I'm Aaron Imholt, the host of the STEELTOE Morning Show, or if you dislike me, the biggest cuck on the internet.
Okay.
Currently. No, boys, look, I know we're going to get into a lot of stuff, and I know I'm here to be Ray Liotta in Goodfellas, but I do have to say, and PPP has said it on multiple episodes, and Andy, I know you and I have talked. I think PPP's coverage of this, Ashton's coverage has been fantastic. I've laughed my fucking balls off even when he's calling me a homosexual.
Well,
Right.
And a degenerate and everything else. He's
Yeah.
not wrong. I was all of those things. There's no, like, everybody's criticism. Those who don't like me, who go, oh, you were a degenerate, you went to this place. Yes, that's my whole point. I am guilty. I am working through this. I am working it off. I am paying it off. The problem I have is 3 other people who are involved in this will not admit their guilt and atone for what they've done wrong.
So, Aaron, can I just get you correct? You're going to admit today that you engaged in homosexual activities?
No, I did not engage in homosexual.
Okay.
Nick REKIETA licked my face 3 times, and it was always unasked for.
Okay.
So I'm just going to ask you before we get into
Ashton, real quick. The only reason he licked my face is because I have a terrible habit of leaving Molly on my cheek. That's the only reason he licked.
Is that serious? He was trying to lick Molly off your cheek or what?
Here's the thing is, Aaron,
in this case, it's hard to tell what's serious and what's a joke because it's so insane.
I have to be careful with you because you'll take it as serious.
No, Aaron, but everything is so degenerate that saying that's like, that's believable. It's not even like exaggerated.
No, it really is. It really is. Yeah. Okay, so before we go into, because I kind of want you to give us like a chronological walkthrough of everything.
Oh, shit.
But before we do that, I want to ask you, what is the crying on the floor story? Can we hear the crying on the floor story?
The crying on the floor story. First of all, I should have been more specific. But the crying on the floor, is that different than the fix her story?
Tell us both.
Okay. The fixer story is this. Well, now we're going to jump out of order and we're going to get way ahead in the story, but all right.
Yes.
So yes. I don't think it's any secret. And I've received messages from people saying, how dare you reveal all this? I'm like, I'm pretty sure you guys getting arrested revealed all this, but it's no secret that, people call it swinging. I would say it was just more straight up, just switching up.
Right.
More than anything else. And I did, look, whoever she is now, whoever she is when I'm not around, when I was around, I'll admit to you, boys, I did fall in love with the Kayla that was around me. Whoever this person is, whoever she was, and Nick would tell me himself, he would go, I've never seen her like this in years. There was something about the way her and I connected. There was shit we said to each other that we probably shouldn't have. But there was I just developed a very deep connection. April was, doing the substances she was doing with Nick, and I was not okay with it. Her and I fought about it a lot. When you confront people who are on those substances, they tend to call you a lot of shit that kind of fucks with you. And I started to kind of question my own, worth and sanity and whatnot. And when Kayla hears those kind of things and she comes up and she gives you a hug and she says, I just want to let you know you're a good man. Like, you're at such a low point when you're doing all this shit that's all it takes. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to cling to this person because they make me feel like I'm worth a shit. And she did that. I will say this, Kayla REKIETA, for all her faults, for all this and whatever we may talk about, I really did develop a deep affection for that woman, and that was reciprocated. It's unfortunate the way things went, but I really did see that there's something in her that wants to be done with this. There's just no, in the position, in the situation you're in, there's no opportunity to actually do it.
May I ask you one thing? So you told me, and I'm pretty sure you said this on your show too, there was something about like you guys were like soulmates, like you had conversations about being soulmates.
We were in bed one night. And when Nick would be on his streams, April would be the corner demon. Of course, I think that's pretty much figured out by now. I'm not spilling any. But April would go down there. And the sickest part about me and a level of degeneracy I'll cop to is I didn't want to be around my wife. I wanted to be around Kayla. So when those two went off and did their thing, it didn't bother me at all. And as a husband, that's disgusting. Right. That's degenerate. I think as PPP said, you have to answer to men and God on shit like that. But that was just the way it was. That's the situation I was in. And I'm sorry, Andy, I'm jumping all over the place.
No, you're good.
Yeah, no. It's very enlightening, everything you're saying. It's fantastic. It's awesome. You're doing great.
Andy, you said the soulmate thing. That's
the soulmate thing. Yeah, but no, it's fine. It's unfolding the story. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
We were in bed one night. We were lying together, and she whispered to me, she goes, I think you're my soulmate. And I, the way we were at the time, I said, I agree. I feel that too. There was just such a deep connection there. It's a connection we definitely got chastised for by the other two parties.
How do they find out about that?
Not necessarily that. It's just the closeness. We would get
They
criticized.
witnessed you guys getting closer and closer and falling in love.
Kayla was sleeping once, and April and Nick, we were in the bathroom where the safe and everything were discovered. We were in there, and I was sitting on a chair. I'm not going to say they sat me down, but I'm sitting on a chair, and the two of them are close to me, and they're going, "Do you understand that when you and Kayla talk to each other, nobody else can get a word in and you don't even hear other people? It's like you're closed off in your own little world." And I'm sitting there going, well, based on what we're doing, guys, isn't that kind of the fucking idea? And they're like, well, Nick and I don't do that. I'm like, that's your fucking problem, not mine. Like, I'm talking to this person. I'm connecting with this person. I'd like to talk and speak to this person. I don't know what to tell you. There were always these weird rules. Like, you play pickup basketball or pickup football, and some kid always wants to change the rules in the middle of the game. Like, now you gotta have 2 feet in bounds instead of 1.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it felt. Like, if Kayla and I got too far affront or forward, affection-wise or feeling-wise, then the other two had to slam on the brakes. And that included shitting on the other one to me, or shitting on me to her, or Nick would always, the thing that actually led me to ultimately leave one night, it was a Thursday night, 7 weeks ago. Nick started questioning me about where Kayla put her prescription pills one night. Nick, we were sitting up in the bed watching a movie, and Kayla was there, and she went to grab her sleeping pills, and she set them down on my leg. This was a couple nights before Nick confronted me about this. Well, I guess Nick got a hold of Kayla's phone and started reading her messages, and there were really affectionate, heavy messages from Kayla and I, and he didn't like that. And he starts texting me, and he starts going, "Where did Kayla put those pills the other night?" I was like, "What do you mean?" She goes, "Did she put them on your dick?" I'm like, "What?" When she set them down on the bed, did she set them where your dick? I'm like, no, I think she set them on my knee. I'm not sure. Like, I didn't know because I don't remember that shit because that's psychotic.
The pills loose? Was it the pills
No,
loose?
No. She has them in the case.
Okay. In the case.
Like,
all right.
People who have to take medication do. And by the way, before anyone even asks, wow. I only saw her, other than like cocaine and stuff, I only saw her take medication that was prescribed to her. I will say that.
Okay.
But he would start questioning me, and if I didn't know the answer to these things that happened a couple days ago, he'd start freaking out on me like, "You're a goddamn liar. Why don't you just stop lying?" And I'm just like, dude, I just don't know where your wife put her pill. I don't pay attention to this shit. Did you her 2 days ago when you were watching that movie? Did you have sex that? I'm like, Sunday, Monday, I think maybe but then I would realize I was thinking to myself,
you fucked her, right?
Why do you think he was so threatened by you fucking his wife? Like, shouldn't he have been chill with it?
Those two are extremely codependent. And even though they're into, I think they were kind of bored with each other, and that's where April and I came along. And
was it accepted to have sex with her, and vice versa? Like, was this like already okay, guys, I get the her, you get the her.
Let me take responsibility for something else.
Sure.
While April and I were on vacation in Las Vegas to watch the Vikings games and hang out with some friends.
Okay.
I did bring it up to her that I thought Kayla was very attractive. And my part of the degeneracy, my part of the weakness was it might be interesting to try this because we knew their reputation. Can you
walk me through like the decision process to opening your marriage?
The Wednesday night before we left for Las Vegas, we went out to dinner with the REKIETAs. Now, we met them in October at the comedy show.
Okay.
That, unfortunately, Chrissy Mayer's father was murdered, and she had to pull out of the show.
Oh, yeah. I heard about
that. Yeah, it was really sad.
Brutal, yeah.
Chrissy, a good friend of mine. Great
she's
person.
great. Yeah, I love her.
She's wonderful.
So that was the one, it was the one where Nick performed that as well. You brought him in for that show. Yeah, okay, I remember that. Okay. And he told anyone if we covered that show, he would flag it and shit. But yeah, Sorry, go ahead. So it was
Oh,
October.
I don't give a fuck. I think people who troll me recorded it and played it on their shows. Who fucking
Yeah,
cares?
yeah, I know. But okay, cool. Timeline, perfect.
So we hung out. We drank afterwards. It was fun. It was a good time. April and Kayla got along great. Nick was on Molly. He and I got along as well as we could. He was cool enough. Then we hung out the next day before they left town. We watched a movie in the morning. And then April would go to their land to hunt. April is a deer hunter. I would go sometimes. November's a little cold for me. I'm kind of a like that. And I would stop hunting around then. She would go to their land to hunt. I've thought about this as time goes on, as I've been away from it. I don't know if they introduced her to anything in that time period or not. I have no idea, but I have my suspicions now. But we went out to eat early December, probably like December 4th, I would think. And we went back to our place. And we all sat and watched a movie. I think it was Inglourious Bastards, actually.
So random. It's just so,
Django Unchained.
You're all
No,
Molly?
it wasn't Django.
It was a Tarantino film.
You're all high on Molly? Like, let's watch some Tarantino.
No,
And that's where it begins.
no one there? Okay,
No
okay.
high on Molly. We went to dinner. We went to dinner. This was in December. We're watching a Tarantino flick.
Okay.
And Nick pulls out the little container that they call a bullet of cocaine. I learned so many cocaine terms, boys.
Let's
in
go.
The last 6 months. It's wonderful. I know about drugs.
Yeah, a bullet, for anyone who doesn't know, it's like shaped as a bullet.
Hey, I'm
right?
37 years old and I have 3 children and I did Molly for the first time. What a fucking cool guy I am.
Oh, buddy. Let's go,
shit,
buddy.
I'm a degenerate sucker if there
Yeah,
ever
so-
was.
No,
You want
buddy,
to tell people
listen.
what a bullet is? I know what it is, but you go ahead.
Go ahead. You let us know.
Yeah.
So we're watching the Tarantino
No,
film.
just tell people what a bullet is, because there's not
A little container of cocaine, like you just
easy
put
access.
cocaine in it,
You pull it out
and
of your
can just
pocket, you go
through
like
the
that,
top
and
then
bang. Yeah.
give yourself a little
A
something.
bump. Yeah, fast bump. Yeah.
Worski knows. I'm a fucking choir boy compared to you, buddy. I don't.
Yeah, I know.
I'm from the Midwest. I drink
That's
beer.
why I
and
don't
golf.
judge.
I don't
That's why I
fucking
can't
know.
judge.
I drink beer and watch Timberwolves playoff games. I don't know what the I'm talking about.
Let's fucking go.
So we're watching it. Pete, shut the up, Ashton. No, I'm just kidding. No, we're watching the Tarantino movie, and Kayla and April start making out. Fun, cool.
Right.
I said here's something that's got me thinking.
I can see it beginning that way, right? Like your wives start making out, and it's like it's cool, right? Because it's like lesbian action. It's hot,
Yeah.
Wonderful.
and that's what opens the door to it, right?
Yeah.
Touching and rubbing.
And I want to say, I respect I appreciate your respect as a man while I'm talking about that, to have both your hands above the screen. I do appreciate it. Ash.
Exactly. We got it's a fire me up special.
You're a godly man. So
Very.
they're making out. And here's what's got me thinking that I don't know if something happened before this while they were, while April was out there hunting or not. I don't think so, timeline-wise. But who knows? Nick goes to run his hands up April's thigh. And I go, whoa, 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 whoa. And he pulls his hand back real fast. Like, I'm sorry. I'm on Molly. I'm sorry. I didn't know. I'm like, all right, just fucking making sure. So I start doing things to my wife while her and Kayla are making out. Nick starts doing things to his wife while they're making out. And then we break. They go in, Kayla and Nick go in one room. April and I are in the other. April and I both do a little bit of coke. Nick pours a little bit of coke out. April does some, I'm assuming for the first time ever, which she looked at me. She goes, is this okay? I said, I'd had one bump at a wedding when I was like 30 at that time. And I'm like, it's up to you. You're your own person. You can do what you want. Right. And then I did one bump and I'm like, God, I forgot. I really don't like this. It doesn't feel good when it goes. I just don't like shit up my nose. So we do that. April and I have sex. I'm assuming the two of them had sex. And when it's all done, I remember Nick was downstairs. April went downstairs. They're in the kitchen. Kayla comes into my room, comes around the bed, stands by me, and starts showing me like pictures of her family and telling me stuff about her family. Like, here's this person, here's that person, so on and so forth. And I'm like, I'm just kind of like, just because of everything that went on, I'm like, does she like me? Like, we're both married. Is this like I don't really
You
get
felt
what's going on.
flirtatious
So
energy.
you're saying,
I
yeah,
felt the flirtation, and obviously I
Yeah.
thought she was an attractive woman. I'm not sitting here going, oh, this weird bitch is fucking talk. I was like, oh, it's all right. Okay.
So she was coming on to you right away.
I don't know. I'm terrible at
That's
reading.
the sense. That's the
Almost
sense.
like a flirtation, like the energy was there.
We were
not
being
the
flirtatious.
words, but
Right,
like you're near her, sort of like arms touching. Oh, look at this! Yeah,
We both just had sex. She's leaning over me. Yeah, it is it's sexual energy. shall we say.
exactly. Okay.
So then April and I leave for Las Vegas the next day, and I am a little weirded out by what happened the day before, and I'm uncomfortable around my wife. But she's talking about this experience like, oh, that's kind of exciting, right? That was kind of fun. And I'm like, yeah, I don't really know what to make of it. I'm not against it. I'm not for it. I'm more in the realm of like, what the fuck just happened? So then we get a day to think about it. Friday morning, we're in Las Vegas, and I go, she's getting ready in the bathroom. I go get her. I go, I want to talk to you real quick. And I was thinking about Kayla standing next to me, and I can't remember if she was naked or not, but I think she may have been topless. I can't remember.
You
And I
can't
just
remember
remember
if she was naked or not.
Dude, when we get to all the stories, there's a lot of shit that's just gonna
Okay.
it's just too much.
All
My
right.
Like
my
he's not
fuck-
sure if it was that time or the next time. You know, like
my
it's
RAM,
like drugs.
my RAM is overloaded.
yeah, yeah.
I can't process shit right. I really can't. Like shit happens to me now,
And
and
you're
I'm like,
f***ed up too, right? Like you're on drugs, drinking, all that stuff.
Sure.
Yeah,
We get
makes
it.
sense.
so I talked to my wife, and we just had a talk about what happened that night, 2 nights ago. And we talk about what we'd like to do. And I'm like, we know their reputation. And I went, I think I'd like to try this. Like,
The reputation.
again,
Could you
the
maybe
degenerate
clarify?
here that started this was me. I asked the question first.
Was it the hedonism stories? Like, was that what the reputation you're talking about?
I didn't know about the hedonism stories. I just knew in general the Reketas had swinger stories around them.
Okay.
Okay. Like, is this a known thing in Minnesota? Like locally, are they known for swinging, or are you going based off of like
Internet lore.
the Kiwi Farms?
Okay,
lore
okay,
or
okay.
whatever? Okay.
Internet lore.
Okay. So
So
you
the
weren't
tracks-
surprised that.
Right.
Okay. Can you answer this for just before we go any further on
Oh,
this?
man.
Do you know if Drexel has had sex with Kayla?
I can tell you, I'll tell you that Kayla has told me no.
Okay.
Trust her on that, and I've never met Drexel. I don't
You've
know.
never met Drexel.
Never met him. He was never
Alright.
at the Reketas house in the 6 months I was there.
All right,
Okay.
back to the timeline of you opening things up and how we
Yeah.
all
So-
got here.
April seemed way more gung-ho on it than I thought she would. So I was just like, all right, cool. That night
Did that
at
upset
dinner-
you? Did it upset you that she was so easily like open to it?
I feel bad saying no. I want to tell people this. If you're thinking of opening up the sanctity of your marriage, let me tell you something. You're fucking done.
Yeah.
You're done.
Yeah.
You don't want it anymore. You're bored, whatever. Subconsciously or consciously, you just want to some strange.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And that's what it started out. That's what it started out as. That does not negate the feelings I told you that I developed for Kayla later, everything else. I don't want to disrespect her in that way. But
No, I don't want to be disrespectful to you, but do you think it had anything to do with April not like orgasming? Because she said you never made her
know
orgasm.
where that fucking story came from. Our sex life was fantastic. If as everything else was fucking garbage, that was good until the last time.
She made that joke or something, and then
made
Red
a
Bar
joke on
started
the air,
talking
yeah.
about it. Yeah, yeah. I
I
remember.
made a joke on air. She's like, "Oh, not every woman comes every time from sex," and that becomes, "Oh, she doesn't come." And it's just like I'm just like, you motherfucker. Like, she wasn't saying anything shitty. She wasn't bashing our sex life, but I looked at her and went, you know how the internet's gonna take that.
And
right?
you were pissed. Yeah, you were like
was-
seething.
well,
Yeah.
Well, number one, I'm not saying I'm the greatest that ever lived, but I laid some good dick with this woman. And here she is saying this, and I'm like, she doesn't mean anything by it, but I'm like, you wonder, like, I think more in terms of like what people are gonna say, whereas she just kind of says shit. And I'm
Yeah.
like, that's why she was so caught off guard when I was like,
So,
what the are you doing? She's like, what? I didn't say anything.
so
And I'm like, no, people are gonna take this the wrong way.
yeah, I could see that. So are you saying, were you pushing more for it to be opened, or was she pushing more for it to be open? So you're saying
That's my idea.
this
'Cause
was
you want
your
to fuck
idea to
Kayla.
open the relationship.
Yeah, this was my idea.
Okay.
And
But then she was open, and you were like, "That was kind of quick."
she was a little bit too quick of a yes. And then we're talking to Nick and Kayla on the phone at dinner that night, and I'm like, all right. The first thing, actually, Las Vegas was the first red flag I got from this whole thing, because as soon as we text them about this idea that I had, the first thing Nick did was, "Do you guys have the Signal app on your phone?"
Whoa! What is this Signal app? What is it?
And I'm like, I have no idea what the that is.
Okay.
He goes, well, it's an encrypted messaging app.
What the fuck?
And I'm like, well, why can't we just text? No. Let's use the Signal app. And I'm like, well, there's nothing illegal about fucking each other's spouse. Like, I mean, we can fucking talk about this like adults, you know?
Oh no.
Yeah, it was just weird. So we had to use this Signal app all the time. And I thought I should have known, like, you're going to realize, I can see holier than thou Ashton, the wheels turning already, going, these fucking degenerates, the judgment.
No.
You're right.
No,
You're right.
this is a judgment-free zone.
We've never
Much like
judged
Planet
anyone.
Fitness.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Real
no-
It's a judgment.
We have a lunk alarm.
You know what? I got.
Until I hit the end call button.
Listen. Did you make Kayla come when you f***ed her?
Oh, we did very well.
How many times do you estimate that you made Lady Rackets moan your name?
Oh, Jesus.
How many times did you fuck her, do you think?
See, now I was talking to someone before we went on, and they prepped me. They said, Ashton's going to ask some hard-hitting questions.
Oh, yeah. Of course he is.
And they prepped me for some of them. One of them was, how many times did you guys have sex? Can't count.
It was
Whoa,
countless.
it was just
It
a
was
lot.
dozens of times.
Like I said, I loved
Hundreds.
This. I was obsessed.
Hundreds?
I was obsessed with it. Hundreds?
Hundreds?
No, not
Maybe,
hundreds.
like 800?
In the like dozens to 100.
How many times a week?
At first, we always tried to keep it, or not tried to keep it, but it was always more spouses than other spouse. You understand?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be like a once or twice a week thing. I'd say at the peak, 4 or 5 times a week.
Did she suck your?
What are you, fucking gay?
Of course.
Yeah,
was
like,
there
what are you,
there
I
dirty
ate her
shit like and shit?
like that's what you do. You fuck. What am I? Not a gentleman?
Did she spit or swallow?
Come on.
You know
what
I
she
will
did.
tell you this. Listen to me. As a man, and maybe people in the chat will say as a, I see getting my sucked as a precursor to the main event. So
Yeah.
if I'm getting close, I'm getting my up. I'm like, no. Let's get to it. I don't. So that
Right.
Was there toys involved at some points too?
Was she good? Was she good at sucking it, or what?
just a beautiful girl all around. She really
Yeah.
is just a lovely girl all around. I don't even say, no, look, you guys are giggling and everything. I don't say that as disrespect.
No, this is a crazy
No,
story.
like,
the story is
It's
epic.
amazing.
This is like the greatest story.
You're like one of the best Howard Stern
Yes,
segments
like,
ever. Like,
yeah,
you're
like-
you're
just
just
a lovely-
nailing it right now.
Yeah.
You're killing it.
No. And let me
Oh.
just say, into the camera right now, save yourself, sweetheart. You know you're better than this. There we
Whoa. By the way,
Did
your
you
channel
use
is in
the
the links
bald-
up there, by the way,
Yes.
everyone. Go sub to him, sub Steel Tour.
Did you ever use the Baldo on Kayla?
I heard the Baldo described one time.
Okay.
Nick described it, and he tried to sell it.
Shut the f*** up.
Well, no, it's a thing where
Hey,
your
no,
balls
tell-
become
tell
hard.
us.
You can-
Tell us, please.
No, tell us the time he tried to sell the Baldo.
He was like, no, you don't understand. The Baldo is this thing where it makes your balls hard, and you can insert them, and then your can rub against their, and it can actually be very stimulating. I'm like, you know what else is stimulating? The shit out of somebody. You can just someone. You don't have to shove your balls inside them.
So he used the Baldo? He
So
did.
I don't know. I cannot confirm.
But he's trying to sell
Whether
you
or
on
not.
it privately, so he for sure did.
maybe he just believed in the product.
Okay, yeah.
I don't.
Now, did you, in the course of any of this, did you ever like see Rekieta's wang?
I've seen it flaccid in passing.
Are you bigger than him?
I will say this. I will say it's close. I don't think I've seen it like firm, so I don't know.
Flaccid in passing, where? Walking out of the hot tub, through the kitchen after fuck? Like what? Describe to me.
It would be kitchen after.
Oh, what kitchen after fucking? I was right. Second guess, Ash.
What would you get from the fridge after?
Here's what I remember. Here's what I remember about our.
What was the post-coitus meal?
I'll answer the question like this. I remember one of the girls, I can't remember which one it was, when we walked in the kitchen, we didn't know each other were there. And one of the girls said, she goes, both of my guys have great. And I was like, thank you very much. Put it in my pocket and call her a day. That was April who said that, actually.
Wow. So did he use the baldo on April, you think?
I don't know. I didn't want to know. I didn't fucking care. I was with my sweet Kayla.
Wow. So do you feel like straight up the love was reversed between you and Nick and April and Kayla? So like, did he fall more in love with April than he did with Kayla? Like,
yeah, 100%.
So it was like a full on.
I'm not sitting here going, Kayla and I were so in love and those two hated each other. They kind of,
it's like switched almost.
They kind of fought and tiffed with each other more than Kayla and I did. But I think the feeling was there, you know, like it was with Kayla and I. I think both of us, I think all of us were tired of the other person. I know April was tired of my nagging about drugs. I know that Nick and Kayla had been unhappy for a long time. And I was
did
really.
Kayla express any of the reasons why she was unhappy in the marriage to you?
She feels like Nick gaslights her. She feels like Nick, when she has a concern, Nick has a habit of turning it around and making it look like she's doing something wrong, to the point where she gets very frustrated. And like, Nick's not he's don't get me wrong, but he's not a dumb guy.
No.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
No.
Like, he makes some of the dumbest fucking decisions and says some of the stupidest shit of any human being I've ever fucking met in my life, and it's infuriating, but he's intelligent, if that makes sense. So like with someone like Kayla, if he can be domineering over someone and he can overtalk them, they can kind of convince someone who's not as convicted as he is that they're in the wrong and he's in the right. And that would happen with Kayla a lot.
Yeah, he's smart.
Did
he's
you,
smart at setting up the gaslight. Like
Can you like point to an example? Like, did you ever see this happen in real life?
God. Should we do the fix her story? So the fix her story. You guys got time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got all the time in the world for you, bud.
All you, man.
So the fix her story. Nick and Kayla are screaming at each other in the bathroom. And I think I'm in the bedroom. I don't know where April is during the fix her story. I think April and I were in the bedroom. April and I were in the bed. Nick and Kayla were fighting. There was always drama. I always described the relationship between the four of us as we went from disaster to disaster, drama to drama. It was an intensely frustrating, stressful place to be. And I think it's because 3 people were on coke and one of them most of the time wasn't. And that's a frustrating spot to be for me. So Nick and Kayla are shouting, screaming at each other. I mean, frighteningly. They would have these knockdown drag-outs. I mean, just nasty fights. Some of them would end with Nick walking around, hitting himself in the head like a fucking ape. This one in specific, Nick and Kayla are yelling at each other. Nick comes storming out of the bathroom. I hear Kayla crying. Nick points at me. This really upset me. Nick pointed at me and he goes, "Go in there and fix her."
What did he mean?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Shit.
Go in there and fix her.
Whoa.
So I go in there and she's on the floor crying, basically in a ball crying. And I comfort her and I talk to her a little bit. And it's just, I mean, I don't know the specific conversation because these all run into each other. A variation on You know, he's gaslighting me. I'm so frustrated. Nobody understands me. Nobody can see me. Nobody can hear me. That's how we got close, is one of the things she would always say to me, and I would say to her, she would look at me as she wouldn't want to talk about what was wrong. And I would start going, well, is it this? Is it, I understand maybe you feel this way, blah, blah. And she would look at me with tears in her eyes. She would go, you speak my thoughts. And that would touch me. That really, like, I'm not, like, you guys are going to find, I'm not some fucking monster who's here to just rat people out.
Oh, obviously
This
not.
touched me. This meant something.
Yeah.
So in the fix her thing, I go in there, I talk to her, and it's just they're fighting. And then Nick comes back in, and they start yelling at each other again. Now I'm in between the two of them. This is remarkably uncomfortable. I'm not high. They're high, or at least he's high. And they just start fighting. Literally, I'm in between the two of them. Kayla leaves. Nick pours out the two biggest fucking rails of Coke I've ever seen in my life. And granted, I haven't seen that much, but bigger than what they usually did. And just rips them back to back. To the point, now he and I were still friends at this point. Literally stopped, put my hand on his shoulder. I said, buddy, are you sure that's okay? Because he had just done some before that. I said, buddy, are you sure that's all right? I don't want your fucking heart to explode in the fucking bathroom here. Nick always had this way of WebMDing his shit to explain it away. He would go, no, well, what you don't understand is no matter how much I'm doing right now, it doesn't get me more high. It takes time for it to process and come down. And I'm like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a stimulant supercharging the fuck out of your heart and you dropping dead. Like, no, it's fine.
Was he actually showing you shit online? Was he actually showing you stuff online?
No, he had an encyclopedia of bullshit.
So he acted I already looked at this up. I searched this already.
One time I asked him, because this was late. This was probably a week or two before I bailed. I confronted him. I said, dude, I know her and I aren't on the best of terms right now. This is when she was out. I was ready to file, like, just about over. Like, April and I had crossed the Rubicon already. There was no going back. But I did still care. And I'm like, dude, she's doing a lot. It's like every day. And you guys are drinking a lot. Like, even Kayla came to me once and she said, Aaron, you need to talk to Nick or April because our liquor bottles are disappearing very quickly around this house. I said, okay, talk about it. I talked to Nick. I go, and I didn't really want to talk about the booze. I was more concerned about the Coke. That's what scared the shit out of me. And I said, the cocaine use, dude. Let's talk about it because it's not good. We need to cut back on that shit a little bit. And he gave me this reason. He said, well, Aaron, what you don't understand is, understand how, like, people with ADHD, the stimulants they take allow them to pay attention better because their attention span goes up like this with the stimulant. It meets their demand for the, So he says about cocaine, he goes, well, Aaron, you see, sometimes our minds can only handle this much stress. But we have this much stress. So when I do cocaine, it elevates my body's ability to deal with stress to here, so I can then deal with the stress I face. And I remember just going to him, I go, that's total bullshit.
What was the stress? What was the stress that what was he mentioning? Like, what was the stress?
Andy,
was it kids?
What you don't understand is this man was streaming at that point 1 or 2 days a week.
Okay.
He had a trust fund.
Yeah.
And that's very stressful.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Life's tough, bud. Life's tough.
I want to ask.
There were some times with Nick where, as the son of a fucking baker and a lunch lady, I was like, you entitled cunt. Like, just fucking man up and handle your shit.
Yeah.
Like,
so I got to ask, like, what, because you were there a lot or a fair amount. What is, like, a day in the life of REKIETA? Like, is he mostly high, like, all the time?
I can tell you what I saw from time to time. Again, everything I'm telling you, I don't want to get into speculation. Everything I'm going to tell
whatever
you guys,
you saw, whatever
you firsthand. Yeah.
Amazing. Thanks.
While I too, again, let's remember, while I too was being a degenerate, going outside of his marriage, scandalizing his relationship, scandalizing his children, all of these terrible things, being a bad father, being a bad husband. But a day in the life was this. I would get up. I'm an early riser. I do a morning show. I would get up on a weekend, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. And I would just sit and stare at 3 passed out people.
Oh,
that's it.
I would just go, all right. What are we going to do? I'd go take a shower or something. I mean, kill some time. And then I kind of wake everybody up and like, hey, can I go get breakfast? I remember one common thing with this relationship was that I was the one who was always going, hey, can we go do some shit? Hey, can I go get this? Can I go to, I was
You
restless.
fed the kids, right? You
I
fed
wanted
them
to get out of the fucking house and do some shit.
Wait, where were the kids during all this, by the way?
They would wake up later, but they would still come and knock on the bedroom door.
Whoa.
By the way, we slept 4 of us to a bed.
What the?
Like we all slept in the same bed.
Yeah,
I would sleep
okay.
with Kayla. Nick would sleep with April.
Okay.
Okay, so that was the sleeping
That
arrangement.
was the sleeping arrangement. Was April and I on the ends, Nick over by April, Kayla over by me. So sometimes in the morning, the kids would knock on the door and say either I'm hungry or this or that. I would say more times than not, I would go out and I would get them some food, something like that, because everyone else got up a little later than I did. Then there would be times where there would be fighting in the bedroom, or, you know, people were doing whatever they were doing in the bathroom and someone would want something. And I would, more often than not, it was usually me who went and got it.
Wow.
I was just not into, like I said on my show, I did coke 3, maybe 4 times in total the entire time. Probably 4 lines, 4 bumps in total the whole time I was there. I did develop an affinity for Molly. It just seemed I wouldn't drink.
Pills
and I would
or powder?
I hate powder. I hate it. One time they had me do the licking thing.
The licking thing, yeah.
Like,
you
so
wanted
every
more
time after that,
control.
I had
Yeah.
I had Nick use papers and wrap it in like pill form, and I would take it that way. I preferred it that way. And what I would do is I just wouldn't drink that night. I'd pound water and Gatorade, and I would chill because everything was so dramatic and everything else. I would have fun. I would enjoy myself.
Yeah.
But I'd still realize, holy shit, dude, you're 37 years old and you're a father of 3. Cut the fucking shit. So after about half a dozen times of that, done with that too.
So let me ask you, what was the general sense, do you think, of how aware the kids were that their parents were on drugs all the time?
I don't think they knew. I don't think they knew.
Really?
I don't.
How about the sense of 2 people? There's a new couple in the bedroom sleeping with them. Like no one, even the high school kid wasn't like, what the is going on there?
That I can definitely, I would say, if I'm just putting myself in their shoes, they're thinking, that's fucking goofy.
Yeah.
You know, like that's a little bizarre.
How old was the oldest one? How old was the oldest one?
Am I telling any tales out of school here? If I
No, it's known. The oldest kid was 16, right?
okay,
So he knows something's happening. Like, let's,
yeah.
you know, like you're 16, your parents.
Every single one of those 5 kids, angels. Every single one of them, great kids.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, they had to know. I mean, it's
Well, you're 16, your parents are sleeping with 2 other people daily, and there's like,
Strangers.
you know.
Let me ask you this: how were you introduced to the kids? Is it like this is Uncle Aaron and Auntie April? Or
Mr. Aaron and Mrs. April.
Right, and that was like, what was the official story as to why you were around all the time?
Friends, just really good friends.
Right. Okay. Were there any other friends that would come around, or were you the only ones in this arrangement at this time?
No.
Do you know if
Maybe
anybody
that's
else?
maybe that's what Nick meant by aggressively monogamous.
Mm-hmm.
Aggressive.
Do you know if he had done this with any other couples? Did he tell you, like, don't worry, we've done this with somebody else before?
You know, this is a really funny story. One time we were at my house, and, you know, I only have my kids 50% of the time, so it was easy to come to our house when there were no kids. And that was important to me. Yeah, it, we'll get into it later.
Yeah.
With the couch story. But as far as the swinging experience and this and that, Nick and Kayla sat April and I down probably about a month and a half, 2 months into what we were doing. And they went, guys, we feel terrible. Feel like we've lied to you. We have a little more experience with this than we let on. And they talked about some of their experiences in Jamaica and this and that and some other things. And we're like, April and I are looking at each other and we go, yeah, we've read the internet. We kind of know this already. It was really weird because April and I were like, yeah,
Can you get into some of the details of what exactly he said when he sat you down for this?
He did tell me a story about he and Kayla were excited to get into it with other couples. But unfortunately, because of his consumption of cocaine and Molly,
It was soft.
He was soft. He had
Kayla was able to perform. Nick was not.
So,
and that was a very traumatic experience.
Oh, no!
And this was with a black couple.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Should make it.
Most likely.
This is all
was this at hedonism or is this a different?
This was the resort. Yeah.
Wait, so you're telling me some guy is banging fucking April and Kayla?
No. He's banging. So
Kayla and sorry. His wife, like a gentleman's wife, and Kayla. Sorry, not
there's
April.
a gentleman balls deep in Rekieta's wife,
and his wife.
Rekieta tries to get into the other guy's wife,
but he can't. So then both women have to go on.
What happened? Did he get laughed at in that circumstance?
No, I remember him saying. I will say this, guys. And look, I don't like the guy. As I look back on my time with him, it's worse because I think there was a lot of manipulation and shit going on. But I will say this. He did say it was a genuinely traumatic experience for him. And of all the things I'm going to talk about tonight, I really do feel a little bad for sharing that one.
Do you know if he tried to use the baldo after he was limp or?
I don't know.
Because maybe this is why
more baldo information.
Speculation is like, maybe like this is why he would use the baldo, as he had a recurring issue of being soft.
I can only speak to a couple times where I've.
Did you see him personally fail to perform and be soft with April?
You did.
You did.
One time.
Whoa.
Now wait a minute.
Can you tell us?
Look, I'm not saying there were not times, especially at the beginning for me. I will say, I will cop to this personally, where it's a weird thing, it's a weird sexual thing you're into, and there will be some performance anxiety.
Right.
And you need a little help. I will admit to that happened to me a couple of times. 100%.
Was he popping like Cialis or
Viagra?
Was it Cialis or Viagra and stuff?
Once in a great while, I will say again, because at the very beginning, I was like, I'm really anxious about this shit. I just want to make sure that if I have any problems, I've got an in case of emergency break glass. And I purchased some things. Right. He already had them.
He already had them. It's a known issue.
Yeah.
And I think when you do cocaine, you gotta have that back.
Yeah, whiskey and shit. Yeah, whiskey, dick. Yeah. Okay.
So there was it's probably one of my favorite moments with the beautiful Kayla Rekieta. We were at our home, of course, no kids. And we had gone out that night. We came back, and Kayla and I, we were upstairs in my bedroom. And this was such a high schooler, fucking gay, fucking romantic, queer thing that happened. We would have sex, and then we'd run out. It was February. It was wintertime in Minnesota. We'd run out onto my deck. We were very hot. We were very warm. And we would run out into the snow, jump into the snow, make a snow angel, and run back inside. It was just this funny gay thing that we did. So laugh. Go ahead and laugh.
No,
laugh.
It's amazing. So you and her, it was so romantic. You guys are doing snow angels together in the yard.
And then April.
Isn't that nice?
I said a story like this, fucking a few months ago when I was drunk. I did that before, so don't worry, it's all good.
We do that. That's not the fun part of the story. The fun part of the story comes when April comes upstairs, as Kayla and I are making all kinds of noise and making snow angels and just being complete homos. April comes upstairs and she goes, "Guys, Aaron," I go, "Yeah." "Do you have anything for Nick? We're having problems."
That must have felt good for you. Huh?
No, I will tell you this, Ashton. Dude, I felt like shit.
No, you didn't.
I really did. At that time,
okay.
No, now I think it's fucking awesome. Like,
fair.
It's also like there, but for the grace of God, go I. Like, I know early on when we started, I needed a little help because it was degenerate and uncomfortable and anxious. I was anxious, blah, blah, so on and so forth. But this was well into things. I mean, this was just a guy probably drank too much and did a little too much. And I go, I mean, yeah, here you go. And then it turns out nothing ever happened. that evening. Meanwhile, Kayla and I are just going to town. I think we made 2 or 3 snow angels that evening, and oof, that's a rough one.
All right. Wait.
Let's go. Let's go.
That's
Now,
fucking
I
sad.
want to ask you. So,
By the way, sweetheart, baby, get out of that house. Save yourself.
save yourself, April.
No, not
before
April.
it's too
Fuck
late.
April.
Oh, fuck
He
April.
means
Oh,
Kayla.
you like Kayla.
He wants-
Is Kayla welcome to come live with you?
Jesus Christ! No, I can't have a bunch of cokeheads with my fucking kids around.
If
Dad.
she
Yeah, wow,
gets clean,
babe.
if Miss Reketa gets clean and she wants you,
Yeah.
I
is
have
she
offered-
welcome?
When Kayla would break down and tell me she wanted this to be done, she wanted this to be over, I told her numerous times, I will take you to groups. I will take you wherever you want to go. Dude,
You want to help her? Yeah.
I don't want to get choked up on a fucking stream, but I have survivor's guilt from running out of a burning building and I couldn't pull anybody out. Like I tried. I wanted to pull my wife out at first, but every time I would confront her on cocaine use, it was just this vitriol of, you're a monster, you're a piece of shit, you're evil, you're a bad guy, and you just want to, like, this invective would come at me to the point where, like I said, I gravitated to Kayla because I'm like, this person is showing me affection and understanding, and she wants help, and she thinks I'm good, and I think she's good, and all of these things. I get lost in conversation with this woman. So when Kayla would tell me that she wanted to get out, I would say, I'll do whatever it takes. I'll help you. I'll bring you to a facility. I'll do whatever you need to do. Her biggest thing, and this is such a tragedy now, considering what happened. She said, I can't leave my kids. I remember telling her at one point, I said, imagine if you went away for 30 or 60 days. You left your kids for 30 or 60 days and you came back better than you've ever been. I think that's better for your children. Her own desire to be a mother stood in her way of getting the help she wanted. I think she.
May I ask one question? Okay, so if say she did leave for 30 days, right? Who would have watched the kids? Surely it wouldn't be Nick himself, right? Like that's the scary part.
When their nanny quit on them.
Oh, they're not a quit on them.
Tell
Okay.
us the story of the nanny quit.
Oh, we don't know about the nanny quitting?
No, we
No,
don't.
no.
The one who bought $3,000 worth of snacks a week. It was that one, right?
Yeah, I heard those stories too.
Yeah. Okay. Let's hear it.
They did have good snacks.
I bet.
Fair enough.
I bet.
Snacks. Good fucking snacks in that house.
The Joe Louis.
No, and the SpaghettiOs were top shelf. I had I'd make a little, I'd go 2 for you, 1 for me. But no, the nanny was, I think, fucking tired of it. Couldn't do it. Actually, no, I remember Kayla sent me a message because she had to sit down with the nanny. The nanny left, and then a few weeks later, I left. And Kayla finally had to sit down with the nanny to ask her why she left. And Kayla was feeling very sorry for herself, and she messaged me, and she said, well, I guess, I won't say the nanny's name, but she goes, I guess the nanny is the same way you are. She said she just couldn't do it anymore. So I'm guessing the nanny kind of knew something was up because I was there a lot. April was there a lot, and we'd go right back into the bedroom to hang out. And so I'm sure she thought that was fucking weird. And she's sitting there running the kids around doing all this shit. I'm sure she's a little resentful that there's these 2 other people in the house. We're just hanging out in the bedroom.
How old was the nanny?
Early 30s.
Okay.
She was cute too.
Did you notice a difference in the cleanliness of the home after the nanny or maid?
No, the nanny
left?
didn't really get into the cleanliness. The nanny's full-time job was just like running the kids around and getting
Right.
groceries and shit. Because when you stream once a week, you're too fucking busy to drive your kids around.
Exactly. So we got to ask about this because it was in the police report that it was a dirty home. There were
That
clothes
police
everywhere.
report is a fucking lie. That house is so much fucking dirtier than that goddamn police report said. Those cops went easy on them. I'm sorry.
Tell
go
us. Tell
Okay.
us. Tell us.
Yeah.
You walk into that house. First of all, their observation, dust everywhere, 100%. I remember sweeping. I would sweep the floors. I probably swept the floors 2 or 3
You were a
times.
Janny.
You
at the action.
literally
a
swept
literal Janny.
Here's my thing, guys. I didn't want to sit in that fucking bedroom and bathroom all fucking day. I went out and did housework to keep myself fucking busy and see that the kids were all right.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I would go out, and I also had a couple of missions. I'll talk about those in a second. But I would sweep the
Okay.
floors. Dusty as I mean, dusty roads, baby. I mean, it was bad. And then you'd go to the kitchen island, the counter area. Just filled with papers and shit. You can't put anything on it. Then you go to the dining room table. And before I got there, I was so proud of this. I started referring to it as my table. Their dining room table was full of just papers and toys and all kinds of garbage and shit. And to me, like, I'm an old school, I was raised old school Americana, like the dinner table. That's where you all gather and everything else. And I'm like, well, let's give these kids somewhere to sit and eat and everything else. So I got the kids together one day, and Kayla came out for this too. One thing I was really proud of Kayla on, when I would have projects with the kids to clean stuff up, Kayla would come out and join and be a part of it. And I really thought at one point, I'm like, I'm going to pull this woman out of this shit. I really am. I'm going to help. And there was always a tractor beam back to Nick and the drugs and all that would just pull her back, unfortunately. But with the table, I got all the kids together and we cleaned off that table. I mean, we cleaned off what was garbage. What went to this kid's room, I made individual piles for the kids of their stuff, and they took it down to their rooms. And we get towels and with soap and water, and we'd wash the table off, and we swept the floor around the table, and we got it clean. It was great. And I got the kids dilly bars for helping out cleaning.
Wow.
And this was a very foreign concept to them.
Wow.
Because they don't do any chores or anything.
Sure.
So you help them turn the crack house into a crack home, basically.
Yeah, I know. I'm sitting here as Mr. Nobility. It's like, hey, everyone's still doing blow in the back room, asshole. Good point. You're right, Ashton. But then the sink was always just full of fucking dishes and never done. So I would always, when I would come over after my show or whatever, I would just start going to work on the dishwasher and the sink and trying to keep that thing empty. And you know what the number one thing I always ended up putting in that? You know what that dishwasher was always fucking full of?
What?
Fireworks.
What?
Just go ahead. Give it your best. What kind of
Sex
dish?
toys?
Was it sex toys?
All right, you went a little deeper than I thought. Whiskey glasses.
Okay. I was thinking there's so many sex toys.
So
There's dildos.
he had to make sure the whiskey glasses were clean.
Wait,
but
really?
as for the kitchen table, his kids ate at, or the floors that they walked on.
Oh, no, I still washed the whiskey glasses. I mean, those weren't.
No, I'm saying, but that was the priority.
Yeah.
The priority was the whiskey glasses, not a safe space for his kids.
I mean,
God forbid Lord Baldo drink out of a dirty glass, but go on.
And then the laundry situation. This was the biggest crime the police committed, was understating the laundry situation. There was dirty laundry from the laundry room in the middle of the hallway, out the door, around the corner, down the hallway, into the kitchen. Like into the kitchen area. There were dirty clothes. There were clean clothes in the living room, all over the furniture, all over the floor. They would be getting ready to take the kids to dance or something, and they'd be pulling out, like looking for tights and pulling in the living room for clothing. And you couldn't have company over at this house because where would you have them sit down? The carpets were disgusting, never cleaned, never vacuumed, anything like that. I vacuumed their upstairs carpets once. It was an exercise in futility. I never did it again.
Tell us why. Why was it an exercise in futility with the carpet?
Because there were, stains in it. It was so dirty.
It's like daily though. It was just like okay, you'd vacuum it next day or 2 days later.
It was more like the damage has been done.
Oh,
like
wow. So it's that bad. That bad. Okay.
And here's the saddest part. Beautiful home. Anybody who worked for their money and actually valued what they had would thank Christ every day that they had this home. And this one was just treated like fucking shit.
Yeah. How about the mold? Was there mold? Did you see mold?
I didn't see mold.
All right, because the police said that there was mold in it too, which is kind of fucking,
I'll take their word. I'll take their word for it. They found cocaine. I'm sure they're not lying about that. That'd be funny. That's something REKIETA would defend too. He'd like, look, guys, there was no mold in the house. That's horseshit. I mean, that's the whole thing. I mean,
yeah. Wow. Okay.
Remember,
Okay.
well, REKIETA actually would justify licking the bottle because he didn't want to get the carpet dirty. I guess that was a lie too, eh? Why do you think he licked the bottle?
Fucking guy? What's that?
Why do you think he licked the bottle?
Because he's a hopeless alcoholic. Kayla would cry about this.
Really? Tell us about that.
We were down in the studio once, and Kayla was sharing with me a theory that she had. She said, Aaron, I swear to God, I think this whole thing was put together so Nick and April could be together. I think they set this up so that the two of them could be together. And she got me kind of thinking it. But like, again, I didn't mind because now my wife had gotten on coke and Kayla was being the fucking sweetest woman in the world. So I was like, I at one point I was just like, I got the better end of this deal. I'm happy, and, but she was in the studio one night and her and I were talking and she was on her knees and she picks up 2 bottles and she slams one of them down and she goes, he's a fucking alcoholic. I swear to God. And she just kind of broke down for a little bit. And we just had this conversation about, like, can we get him help? Can we do anything? He doesn't think he has a problem. He fucking drinks all the goddamn time. There would be times where it'd get really tense where Nick would come in with a drink and Kayla would say something like, Nick, it's 10:30 in the morning. And Nick would go, ugh. And I'm sitting between the two of them and I'm like, oh, this is like a kid whose parents are about to fight. And I'm just like, oh, I have a tummy ache.
May I ask? Okay, I want to ask you something. So there are some people who are skeptical of your stories, right?
Sure.
So like there's that guy. I don't even know who the he is. Melton.
Patrick Melton, yes.
Okay, he likes talking about you, right? Some of his people are all over Twitter, right? And they're like, oh, they're believing what? So what would you say to people who don't believe your story?
I was doing cocaine. I was doing Molly. I was being a terrible father. I was in this house at the same time. In no way am I absolving myself of any guilt. At any time I was there, I could have taken those 5 kids, called CPS myself, and gotten them help. I engaged in all of it.
Why didn't you?
Yeah.
Because I'm a piece of shit who will pay for that until the day I fucking die. Up until the day before the arrest, I was on the phone with people going, guys, should I call? I know what's going on, but I also know how this makes me look. I was a chicken shit. I was a fucking coward.
Let me just listen, like, we don't need to hear all that shit. We're here to be on your side today.
What I'm saying is, Andy asked me to respond to those.
I know.
People.
Well,
Like,
I'm just asking because there are people like in chat and people who are wondering, oh, if you are lying. I don't think you're lying. These stories sound very consistent to what we've seen.
I'm interested because a lot of people, they ask, like, how into this was Kayla? Like, do you think she was originally against Nick's drinking and drugs and she was dragged into the lifestyle? Or was she just right there with it the whole time and pushing for it?
Here's
I
will. Here's one time in this whole thing to prove this isn't just a shit on Nick REKIETA fest. And boys, again, I can only tell you what I've experienced firsthand. What I heard, what the story Nick told me. And I cannot remember if I got confirmation of this from Kayla or not. But the story Nick told me is that around the time that he turned 40, Kayla either started doing these things or wanted to start doing these things because she thought that's what Nick wanted in a woman because of the things he would talk. Oh, that's what it was. He said that Kayla started doing these things because she thought that's what he wanted. Now, Kayla would expound on that and go, well, I was only listening to his show and listening to the things he said and listening to the kinds of people he talked to. And I thought that was the kind of woman he wanted. I just wanted to be the woman that I thought Nick wanted. And that kind of led to this. And then Nick just leaned the in.
Is that what Nick's worst day ever was? Or do you know what his worst day ever was?
His worst day ever?
Yeah.
A stream?
Yeah, when he said, like, I had my worst day ever, and then that's, like, led to this decline. Is that what that was, or do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. REKIETA has referred in the past to having a worst day ever, and I was wondering if you had any insight into that.
I would think it would be when I let another man my wife, but apparently that was...
So a lot of people in the chat are asking about Kiwi Farms. How much do you blame Kiwi Farms for all of this happening to you guys?
None. I feel like they were reporting.
So you don't feel like they made you guys, swing or do coke or anything? Because that's what a lot of law tubers are saying, is that this is all the fault of Josh.
Yeah, then he spiraled or whatever because...
These simp assholes. Nick has loved every fucking minute of it and never once has wanted to stop. As a matter of fact, a few weeks ago, the last time I saw Kayla in person, I don't know if Nick and April know I saw her. I'm not sure. But this was after I had departed. I met her on neutral ground. It was great to see her again. And she told me the story of how she had told Nick. And this is so fucking tragic because this may in fact be the batch they got caught with. Kayla said to me, Aaron, it's done. It's over. She even said to me, Aaron, I hope you're proud of me. I've been clean for days now. I said, I had tears in my eyes. And I'm so fucking proud of you for that. I'm so, because that's all I wanted from any of them. Like when I said I couldn't come back, I'm like, guys, I have kids who don't want to come to your house anymore. I'm hanging around my friends right now. See, the thing about hanging out with people addicted to drugs is that you get shut off from everyone else around you. And I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of family. I like hanging out with them. And I know, Ashton, I'm getting away from it here for a second, but when I told them I wasn't coming back, I was like, guys, I'm in my backyard right now. There's kids all over the lawn. They're playing with their friends. I've got friends and family and neighbors over here. I can't leave this again. I love this shit. We'll get to that later because that's when the Nick kill yourself.
Did Rekieta say stuff about Kiwi Farms in private? Like, okay, can you give us some examples of times he would seethe about it privately?
Yeah.
Well, Andy, let's talk about the thing you and I talked about privately because I'm sure you want to clear this up.
Sure.
The one thing Nick told me, and I got messages whenever I would mention your guys' show, like when I went over your guys' coverage of the hot tub thing, and I thought it was
jacking me off.
We'll get to that, yeah. But no, I don't know if it got back to you guys, but I watched you guys cover the hot tub thing. I thought it was fucking hilarious because I'm like, yes, we do look like like there's no getting around it. It's a fucking cringe thing. It was my idea. It didn't fucking pan out. Those three would defend it to the hilt. I'm like, guys, we look fucking ridiculous. And everything that came out of my mouth, I remember going, this is criminally unfunny. Like, this is really
okay. Hold on. Let's go into the decision to do this hot tub stream.
I'm going to answer your question.
Okay.
I'm going to get to this because I'm doing a terrible job. Andy, Nick would always tell me the reason I don't like Worski is because he went on the air and he said that when Kayla was walking him back to his room, he said on the air that she tried to give him a hand job.
I never said that. What I said was when I was drunk in Knoxville at the bar, and there are witnesses to this, she was getting really touchy-feely and flirty with me with Nick there. It made me uncomfortable because Nick was like watching, and I was fucking fucked out of my mind. I never said that she jacked me off. I said that she was getting like flirty and touchy, and Nick was like looking over like, and then I brought that story up because I was like when we were hearing about all the stories about them possibly swinging, I'm like, oh, maybe, I mean, like she did seem like she was down to probably other guys and being flirty with people. In fact, she was being flirty with me and touching me and stuff. I never said jack off. I never said jack off.
Who do you think was the driving force behind the decision to open their marriage? Do you think Kayla was pushing for it, or do you think Nick was pushing for it?
You know, it's difficult because I know they were both unhappy. But I also know Nick has a way of making things Kayla's idea that maybe weren't necessarily Kayla's idea. I think Nick knows he's smarter than her, and he kind of uses that. So, I mean, I will say this. I think Nick Rekieta, borderline a monster. I really do. Yes. I think he's a bad dude. I don't think he has the ability to feel empathy towards anyone but himself. I think it might be a clinical condition. I mean, the guy is, because he's convinced he's right.
Let me ask you something.
Hear the kind of guilt I'm espousing right now, espoused by him.
You said this in DMs. You said that he was a Warren Jeffs tier
cult
leader.
Yeah.
Can you explain what you mean by that?
Well, what I mean by that is, if you, like when I said I wanted to leave, he treated it like I was leaving the fucking Manson family. Like I said, I'm not coming back. And his fucking words were, you led my wife on.
What? Like, what the fuck?
I'm like, I led your wife. What? I led your wife on? Which was a weird fucking thing to say. And then when I said, dude, I can't do it anymore. My kids don't want to be there. If my kids don't want to be there, my hands are tied. There's nothing I can do. And April had left by this point, so she was done. So I was like, this is a clean break. I can be done with April. She can be done with me. The kids can be done. They didn't like April anymore because the drugs had made her, I'll say, love the kids when it was convenient for her. Okay. And they noticed that. and they knew that she wasn't as active in their lives anymore. And my oldest started to resent her. So I was like, you know what? This is a good time to call it. Nick lashed into this invective on Signal where he started saying, you know, you flabby, fat, whatever, blah, 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 just starts going into these laundry list of descriptive physical features. And then goes, why don't you do the whole world a favor and kill yourself?
Whoa.
And I'm sitting in bed. I read that. And I finally, literally the last thing I ever said to Nick REKIETA was, LOL, okay, addict, and then blocked him. That was it.
May I ask you, why didn't the kids want to be there? Like, what behaviors did they see?
Their parents weren't ever around. Like, they were like, Dad, you're the only one who ever comes out to check on us or anything. We don't play with you. We don't hang out with anybody. You know, we're on our tablets. It's not fun. We don't want to, because everyone was in the bedroom the whole time.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, I have a question here from someone. Yeah. So, okay, the gun charges, the shell casing. Could you explain any of this at all?
I'll tell you this. It was actually, the police report was the first time I ever heard that I was sleeping on a bed that had an AR under it.
Whoa.
Like, if I would have known that, I would have fucking freaked the fuck out and said, there's fucking, my kids come here and fucking play. Can we get that locked up, please? If I knew there was fucking ammunition and a loaded gun under the bed. You understand that their children come into that bedroom to hug their parents goodnight, and there's a fucking gun underneath the bed? I had no idea.
Let me ask you something. With the black eye that REKIETA got, how do you think he got that black eye, or do you know how he got the black eye?
My opinion, because again, I've been gone for 7 weeks at this time. My opinion, Kayla got mad about the live stream and either threw something at him or hit him with something in a fight. I don't know if that's true.
Did you ever witness REKIETA, like her throwing something at REKIETA or her hitting REKIETA?
She told stories to me about how she'd thrown things at Nick.
Can you tell me some of those stories, or at least one of those stories?
She was fighting with him about something, and she threw books at him. She's such a smart girl. I love her. A fucking firecracker. She took books out that were like The Sanctity of Marriage and like A Lovely Happy Household. She would pick those books specifically and throw them at them and say, like, you give a fuck about any of this, you asshole. And she would tell me those stories, and I was like, I like this bitch.
I like that too. That's really taking it to a whole new level.
Meta fighting.
We didn't get a clear answer on this. Can you tell us some times that he would seethe about Kiwi Farms or Josh
Kiwi
privately?
Farms. He would tell me, like, the stories I've read on Kiwi Farms, because I only got into Kiwi Farms probably the last week or so. What a week to get into it. I had tried to go on it before, but I found it, my old Midwestern ass, hard to navigate unless I knew exactly what I was looking for. So I would hear people, I only heard his take on the Josh shower text story. Right. Nick would always explain these. Now that I've read Kiwi Farm's take on this, I realize Nick was always explaining these to me like he was on the witness stand, like defending himself. Yeah. And he would be like, well, I was just in the shower one time and Josh was freaking out at me in text messages. So I just decided to text him from the shower. It's not a big deal. And I'm like, dude, I've never heard about any of this. I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. So I think it definitely bothered him.
Would you ever bring up an individual post and be like, I can't believe what this fucking guy said, or this is bullshit?
Not that I can remember. Not that I can remember.
How about John? Did he ever talk about John? John.
No, the first time I heard about John was the fucking rant he went on a while back. And I remember the next day I saw Kayla and she was like, I'm so fucking mad. She goes, I never watch his show. I finally decided to watch, and he's doing that, and he's really fucking hammered, and I'm so fucking mad at him right now. Which is a weird place for me to be, because I always kind of respected the unspoken rules about what we were doing, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to bash your husband, and I don't think those rules were respected on the other end. Old fucking Warren Jeffs. I think anytime April had a complaint about me complaining about her drug use, Nick was more than happy to be the shoulder to cry on. And here, have another bump, Blondie. Why not? He was the lovely Santa Claus with all the snow, and I was
because you called him Warren Jeffs again. Do you want to explain who Warren Jeffs is?
Was
and
he
why?
now was he the sex? He was the sex cult guy, right?
He was like in the Church of Latter-day Saints, and he was obsessed with making the other men's wives his lover, and he also had like child sex offenses against him.
No, none of that. I just mean the cult leader aspect of it. I would have said Charles Manson, but he didn't ask anyone to kill for him. He just has a lot of like, he knows what buttons to push with vulnerable people, and he pushes them.
Right.
He couldn't do it with me. He and I fought a lot because I would go, that's fucking bullshit. And Nick throws a fit when you don't buy into what he wants all the time. I remember he yelled this at me all the time. He goes, why don't you just stop lying and be honest with yourself? I'm like, what, you want me to just tell you you're right and we'll just move on? Is that what you want? You know, I mean, when it came to April, I know there were times where she brought up issues we were having, and they came from, Aaron wants me to stop doing coke. I think it's fun. He's a piece of shit. And Nick would go, have another bump, sweetie, and tell me all about it. You know, I mean, Nick wants people to drink and do drugs with, like any addict does.
What do you think about this Kayla charge of like child abuse or negligence? What do you think that is? If you had to speculate?
I really hope that maybe she just yelled something out while the cops were there that got misunderstood. Because I've never once seen Kayla be violent towards those children. I've never seen her be inappropriate towards those children. I've only seen her love her kids.
Have you seen Nick be violent towards the children or neglect the children or abuse them?
I mean, neglect. I mean, the whole thing's fucking neglect. Everything was
neglect.
But never abuse. No, never abusive towards them.
Yeah, because we're just wondering what that charge is about, and nobody can seem to make heads or tails of it. Maybe it was just that it was such a shit. We just don't know. We just don't know. So I was hoping you might be able to.
I don't know what that could be.
Okay, what about the homeschooling of the kids? Like, how did that work? Was Kayla active in that at this point, or was she just kind of strung out all the time?
It's like a homeschool collective.
Right. What does that mean?
The kids go to like a church school kind of a thing, or they go to someone's house, or they have different teachers, like different parents inside the collective, the co-op teach. And so you'll go to different places. And I remember Nick was teaching for a little bit. He got kicked out of it. The school kicked him out of teaching because he's a fucking degenerate on his program for everybody to see. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I remember one night he punched a hole in his bathroom wall, bitching about the collective kicking him out of teaching. And I remember saying to him and Caleb both, I was like, dude, you understand, like they had every reason to kick you out. If they watched my show when I was teaching, I would hope they would kick me the out. One of the big differences between Nick and I was that I knew what I was, and Nick thought he was like a fucking clergyman, I guess. Right. I don't know. Like, I was like, Nick, you understand we're garbage, right? Like, you understand we're shit. Like, we're degenerates and all of this, and like there's, we got work to do. And he would go on his stream and pontificate about family and all this other shit. Sometimes it made me want to fucking puke. It still does. I remember one time he said, I might start a religious podcast. And I remember looking at Kayla, I go, if he starts a fucking religion podcast, I'm duty bound to stop it. Like, that's not okay.
Now, do you know, like, speaking of the church and all of that, do you know how much intervention they tried to do with Nick? Like, did they sit him down and were like, this is crazy, or what? Because the rumors that are swirling around is the mandatory court report or was a pastor at the church, right? Yeah. And people are like, did the pastor try and intervene? Did he talk to Nick? Do you know anything about that?
I don't know a lot about that. I do know if you tried to intervene with Nick, you'd get a giant speech about how right he was. Mm-hmm. And it would be like standing in front of a full speed freight train yelling stop. I mean, it wouldn't have done anything.
Do you think Nick actually is religious? Do you think that he actually believes that he's sincere in his faith, or what?
Now you just asked two completely different questions.
Yeah.
Do I think Nick is actually religious? No. I don't think he holds any of the tenets of faith. Do I think Nick believes he is? 100%.
Right.
Okay. I think he believes it.
Let me ask you, a lot of people have been asking about this. Did he ever talk bad about anybody in LawTube or any of his YouTube friends behind their back? I
know that he'd trash Vic a lot. He'd be really he'd be really dismissive towards Vic. What
would he say?
Just about his sexuality and shit like that. And like, it was just all very catty. You know, it was nothing like big and earth-shattering. It was just he was always really catty and shitty, and how none of the Vic stuff was his fault, and Vic should have done this and that. And I remember him being really shitty about that. He hates Alex Stein.
Whoa.
Why?
Really? Why?
I don't know. The reason he gave was fucking gay, and it was to try and get my wife's pants. Not that he needed to try any harder. We were already fucking each other. But he was like, oh, I was on a stream with April on Chrissy Mayer's program, and Alex Stein came on. He was really rude and mean to April, and that's why I don't like him. I'm like, shut the fuck up, you fucking gay white knight asshole. Like, that's not why. It's like, I'm her husband, and all I did was I DM'd Alex afterwards. I'm like, do you and I have a problem? Do you want to come on the show? Like, what's the deal? Nick's like, white knighting, like, April, you know, I just don't like Alex Stein because he trolled you a little on Chrissy Mayer's show. And, you know, and then April would be like, oh, that's great, Nick. You're such a good man. You know, he hates Alex Stein. He'd be shitty about the Vic thing. Anytime Nick had to post any kind of L, there would always be a long explanation as to why everyone else is wrong and he's right. Kind of like him getting arrested.
The way he always does with anything, though.
Yes.
It's like with anything at this point.
Habitual. He's habitually incapable of taking any responsibility for anything. And boy, you talk about projection. This guy will accuse everyone else of the very things he's incapable of. Every time, without fail. You could set your watch to it.
Do you want to tell us about the parenthood story that made you want to beat his ass? What was it that made you want to beat REKIETA's ass in specific?
I told this story vaguely on the show, but we can get into it fully.
Okay.
If April had not been in my house one day, I may have been arrested first for physically beating someone within an inch of their life. We were at my house. Now, we have to go back to December or November to start this story, because the story happened around February, March. It was before Easter. I know that. After Valentine's Day, before Easter, because I bought Kayla a lovely Valentine's Day gift. And sweetie, sugar, if you're listening, make sure you get out of that house and get free. You've got so much more to offer the world, sweetness. All right? Love you too.
Did he get April a Valentine's Day gift?
No.
What a prick.
What a fucking asshole. I got Kayla Star Trek action figures.
Which ones?
I got a con and then some black dude I don't know. But I knew she'd know. Yeah, it was a Drew Hill collection. No, it was some Star Trek action figures and then some snacks that she likes for her snack drawer next to her bed. And for her birthday, you know, she likes like charcuterie snacks and things like that. So I thought, you know what, Kay, sweetie pie, love of my life, gorgeous. I said, wouldn't it be nice to have something to keep all your snacks cool next to your bed? So you can have them there. I bought her a nice, like, old-timey looking 50s Frigidaire refrigerator and freezer for her bedroom. You know, the retro-looking ones? Oh, yeah. What a gentleman.
Were you trying to, like, steal her, like, to be your own wife? Would you feel like that was your mentality?
Was I trying to steal her?
Like, not steal, but like
no,
make her fall in love and then make her leave. And then like you were, I mean, from everything that you're saying, it sounds like you were trying a little bit.
I mean, I'm fucking with Nick a little too, but I mean, really, yeah. I wanted to get her the fuck out of there. I don't know if
and be with her.
We're a little bit sidetracked, but let's go back to the story where you wanted to beat his
real quick. I'll answer that question by saying this. Realistically, there's no fucking way her and I could be together. Okay. She's got 5, I've got 3. Well, I'd blow my
would you be willing to step up?
I wanted to get her the fuck out of that house.
Like let's say REKIETA goes to prison and she gets off. Would you be willing to step up and help raise the 5 kids? You can't.
I can't get involved with that world anymore.
You wish you could.
Brother, I've made too many promises to too many people who have helped pick me up off the floor from this thing, who would dump me in a heartbeat, drop me
Fair
flat.
enough. But at that time, you would have. At that time, you would have, right?
At that time, I would have jumped in front of traffic for this.
There we go. That's what I wanted.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Let's finish that
story.
Right,
back to the story where you're going to beat his ass or whatever.
So the first time they came over, one of the first times they came over to our house, we're standing in the kitchen. And I'm already not comfortable with the cocaine thing. If I would have known when we started how into blow Nick, REKIETA, and everyone were, I wouldn't have done this because I had no idea. But he takes the little bullet, the little container of cocaine out of his pocket, puts a little line down for himself on my kitchen counter, and just takes it up. And I look at him and I go, dude, what the are you doing? He goes, what? I go, I got 3 fucking kids and an ex-wife who, if she found a speck of that shit in my home, my kids would be gone fucking tomorrow. Don't ever bring that shit into my house again. Okay, I understand. Yeah, I get it. No, I'm a lawyer. I get that.
I'm a lawyer?
So,
sorry, that's funny. Okay, go ahead.
I mean, did a great job of showing up for traffic court, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Thanks. My State Farm bill fucking appreciates it. You know? But, so then fast forward a couple months later. I'm walking around downstairs. My kids are there. No REKIETA kids are there. My children are there. And I'm just walking around checking on them. You know, what are you doing? All this stuff. I think I had made waffles that morning, and I was cleaning up from making a waffle. I hear Nick yell, April, we made one for you. And it was coming from upstairs. And I'm like, well, I know they ain't making fucking muffins and shit. And I walk upstairs. You know that feeling you get where you go, don't be right. Don't be right.
Yeah.
Don't be right.
I hope I'm wrong. Please.
I'm walking upstairs, and I see the mini safe that I know the cops eventually confiscated one day, open on my bathroom, my bedroom bathroom counter, full of drugs. I didn't yell at Nick and Kayla right then and there. The kids were downstairs. I didn't want to cause a scene. I walked down the stairs. I go, April, could you come into the kitchen, please? April comes into the kitchen. I'm irate. I go, I told them to never bring any fucking drugs into this house, and they have the entire container full of fucking coke, and they said they just made one for you, so you had to know this was going on. And she looks at me, she goes, oh, I had no idea, but you're right. That's bad. I'll go talk to them.
They brought
not
a safe?
Angry, not irate, not, hey, my 3 stepkids, who I claim to love more than life itself. Not like, get the fuck out of here, you lunatics. It was, oh, I will go talk to them. Like she was HR, you know, going to discipline someone for smelling a lady's chair or something. So she does that. I'm fucking losing my mind. I go downstairs to be away from everybody. And to come and console me from how angry I am, who do you think would come down to talk to me about this?
Kayla.
Oh, see, I would think my wife would come down to console me and talk to me about this and figure out what was going on. But yes.
Yeah.
Well, after seeing the whole story, yes.
Yeah.
The dear, sweet, lovely Kayla came down, tears in her eyes. I'm so sorry. This is wrong. I apologize. I forgot. We're so sorry. You asked us not to, and we didn't respect that, and blah, 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 blah. Made me feel better a little. And I'm like, okay, you know what? We'll continue on with our day. I go, but that fucking happens again. I'm out of here. Now, in that moment, I should have been done. It should have been it. Before anyone goes, oh, Aaron's just a rat who thinks he's a saint. No, I fucked up. I failed in that moment right there. But then I go upstairs into the middle floor. I go to check on my youngest, the 4-year-old. And by the way, before anyone goes, should you really be telling these stories? My ex-wife has been such a fucking trooper. I have talked to her about I've come clean to her about everything. She's been great. She's just glad that I got, you know, our children out of there and everything else. I go up to the 4-year-old to check on her, and I see a navy blue container right next to her. And I pick it up, and in my head, I'm just going, it's Bubbles. It's Bubbles. It's got to be Bubbles. The kids are playing with Bubbles. Or something.
No.
I walk towards the kitchen. I start unscrewing the lid, and I'm just saying, I'm audibly out loud saying, no, don't. Full of cocaine.
It was the bullet, right?
It was the bullet.
He left it in the couch.
He was sitting on the couch watching something.
On
and
purpose?
It just sat there. No, it just fell out of his pocket and sat there next to my fucking 4-year-old after I'd asked him not to bring this shit into my house. So didn't respect. By the way, this is why this guy, bury him under the jail.
Wait, it was next to your kid?
Respect me a fucking wink. Didn't bat an eye. What's that, Andy?
It was next to your kid?
It was next to my 4-year-old.
Oh my God. It's over.
I yelled for April to come down. I said, April, and I just held it out like this. And she goes, oh my God. I go, yeah, oh my God. Everybody out now. And I give it to her. She runs it up. I send a text to her. I go, I want everyone out of the fucking house. I could not be more upset. And
Yeah.
So I go out to the garage. It's Minnesota. It's chilly. And I'm sitting there. I got a blanket on because I'm just thinking, like, how do I not go and kill Nick REKIETA? Like, how do I not fucking beat this guy within an inch of his life? I'm not going to make a scene in front of my kids. But the animalistic part of me was like, just pummel him. Just beat the out of him.
Yeah.
Kayla comes out to the garage. Again, tears in her eyes. And I said, Kayla, this is it. Like, it's got to be that shit or me. Like, I'm out of here. She goes, no, you're right. It has to stop. It's done now. We have to cut it out. We have to be done. It's got to be over. This is too much. We could have killed one of the kids, blah, 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 blah. Yes, wonderful. Thank you. April goes upstairs to be with Nick to make sure poor Nicky's okay because he feels so bad about almost killing a 4-year-old. Kayla and I sit there playing board games with the kids the rest of the afternoon until they have to leave. April never once comes down to say a word. I go up to say goodbye to April. Nick and Kayla have left for a little while. I go upstairs to tell April I'm taking the kids. She's sitting in the shower sobbing. Somehow, this has all become my fault because I was mean to her and I told her to leave the house. And how dare you do that? And Nick's really sorry, you know. And I went, you're going to fucking make excuses for him after all this shit. Took the kids back. The rest of that whole night is a blur because it was a disaster. It was filled with fights and screaming and yelling. I know Kayla threw a fucking drink, an iced tea from Popeyes in Nick's face. I know that Nick started hitting himself again like a fucking ape. Oh, I got to tell you the baseball bat story too.
Go ahead.
That was the bullet. That was the bullet story.
Tell us the baseball bat story.
The baseball bat story.
We're out one night. This is where I got to be like Sting. This is exciting.
Okay.
We're out one night. We're coming back. And it's pretty well understood that Kayla and I are going to go upstairs when we get back. Nick and April can do whatever it is they do. But Nick has this weird thing where he wants Kayla to say it. Like he's texting her, what do you want to do when we get back? It's already been established what's going to happen, like what's going on. Mm-hmm. And Kayla's like, oh, you know, we're going to go hang out upstairs. Who's where? You mean me or you mean Aaron? And she's like, well, and then it starts this big fight. They start fighting about it via text.
No.
Because he wanted for some, I don't know if it's a sick, weird thing that he's got where she needs to say that she wants to fuck me. I don't know what it is, but it ends with April and I are upstairs and we hear shouting in our front yard, which is fucking embarrassing. You don't want your neighbors hearing a fucking domestic in your front yard. So April and I go out there and Nick is yelling at Kayla going, hit me, fucking hit me, fucking hit me, fucking hit me. He's screaming fucking hit me at Kayla.
Yeah.
And I get Kayla separated from him. April gets Nick separated from Kayla. And I go, hey, get in the fucking house. Enough with yelling. And he looks at me. He goes, Aaron, you better get the fuck away from me right now. Now, I go about 6'4", 215. Nick's about 6'2", 140. I just got right in his face, laughed at him, and I go, you're not going to do shit. And then I walked in the house. He's losing his fucking mind. So then Kayla gets back in the house. He gets back in the house. Boom, they just start into it again. Just yelling at each other, just blah, blah. At one point, Kayla says to him, and I think she did it to trigger him. I don't know if she was being serious or not, but Kayla says to him, every time I've ever had sex with you, I faked it.
Whoa.
Whoa.
To Nick?
Really?
Oh, he lost his shit.
Well, what did he say to that?
He fucking lost. What are you fucking? He's screaming. He's screeching. Of all the things I've ever heard anyone criticize Nick over, questioning his sexual prowess set him off more than anything else. You could have said he was a cokehead who neglects his kids, and he would have went, well, I've read some articles that say, actually, when you do coke when your kids are around,
better.
He was found out. He never pleased his wife. He was always soft, had to take boner pills.
Well, you used
So
the
what
ball,
you're
though.
saying is it was, in fact, him who had never made his wife come.
I don't know that.
According to her.
Did
Kayla
Kayla say you were better than Nick in bed?
She never said that. The only thing I ever heard was April once said to me that Nick told her, I've never heard Kayla make those noises before when he was downstairs and they were upstairs. The night he couldn't perform and we were doing Snow Angels, I guess they had to hear us, which I don't take pride in that. That's not good. I feel bad. Like, that's not something you want to hear. That's a terrible thing to have to experience. But April told me after, she goes, yeah, Nick said he's never heard he's never heard Kayla make those noises before. And look, that feels good. That feels good to hear.
Tell us about the Super Bowl story.
No, let's do the baseball bat first.
Okay.
Okay.
So they're fighting, and then I mean, different parts out of context. At one point, Nick says to Kayla, I'm sorry, I'm just not a good enough lawyer. It's like, Jesus.
Oh, my God.
What the fuck?
He doesn't practice. Okay.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, this is the only way I can make a living for us. She was talking about how much she hates his show. I hate your show. I hate that you do it. I hate what it's done to us, this and that. And he's like, I'm sorry, I'm not a good enough lawyer. And I'm like, Jesus. And I'm sitting here, I got a show in the morning. I'm like, guys, I want to fucking go to bed. Jesus Christ. Because April and I are upstairs. April's genuinely concerned. I'm just sitting here going, this is fucking ridiculous. April and I are 8 years apart. There's a lot of shit that happened where I'm just like, guys, this is embarrassing. We're 40. And April would be like, no, this is serious. We need to talk about it. I've never heard more people reference killing themselves than this group of people when they're high and like drama happens.
Really?
Like, oh my God. April's like, you have no idea when we were getting divorced. I wasn't around the kids anymore, which, by the way, she left the kids without saying goodbye, left me to have that conversation. So fuck you and your attitude towards the kids, using it when it's convenient for you, when you're not, but, she goes, I've asked Nick to kill me so many times. It's like, well, then you guys all need to go get help, because that's fucking insane.
She's asked Nick to kill her. Wow.
Oh, and then Nick does this motion 5 times a day when he's fighting with Kayla or he's frustrated about something.
How often does he hit himself in the head like a
3 times. I saw it 3
Just
times.
3 times. Yeah.
You saw
So-
it, yeah.
Amazing.
So now Nick, then they start fighting again. April and I go upstairs. We're like, this is fucking exhausting. I finally hear yelling again. I go downstairs. He has Kayla cornered in our half bathroom in the entry. You know how a house where you'll walk in and there'll be a bathroom right away, just a toilet and a sink right away that people can go into? He's got her in one of those smaller bathrooms, and he's got her up against the corner of it, shouting at her. Now, I'm a big enough dude that I can handle a Nick REKIETA with one arm. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? I don't know what he's on. I don't know what the deal is here. So I go out to the garage and I get a baseball bat. I put it between the two of them. I push him aside and I go, get the fuck back. And he walks around the kitchen beating himself in the head. And then April looks at me and she goes, you didn't need to bring that baseball bat in, you know. I'm like, a fucking 6'2" man is standing over a 5'2" woman. She's crying. He's shouting at her in the bathroom. You're right. You know what? I should have broke fucking ribs with
You
it.
really were the icon Sting, Aaron.
I was Sting. I wanted to play the music.
Aaron from the rafters. Oh, with the baseball bat.
Oh my God! And we're out of time.
Yeah, stay back. Hey, man. Yeah, I know, chat. Go ahead. Make your jokes. Stay the back.
Is there any more to the baseball story or what?
No, I was fucking Kayla and I went upstairs and I talked to her a little bit. April consoled Nick, and then I was like, I gotta fucking go to bed. So Kayla went down and talked with all 3 of them. And I got a couple hours of sleep.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you this. This is where we get a little filthy here, okay? You mentioned to people that Nick brought you to the sodomy barn. Okay, what was it called? Pure Pleasure?
Pure pleasure.
Okay, so let's hear about Pure Pleasure, where they sell used dildos and have at the back, what was it called? Like little booths to watch?
Yeah.
I will say this, boys. I hate to ruin it for you. I didn't know anything about the booths until I saw your coverage of it.
Oh!
Okay. So
I don't know about
you didn't go into the booth with Kayla or
No.
did he go into the booth with April or
No, nobody went to any booths. Again, I didn't know there were booths.
So
You know how I told you. You know
Yeah.
how I told you that I was a complete gentleman and bought Kayla lovely, thoughtful gifts for her birthday?
Yes.
Well, Nick thought that we should buy April should buy her a sex toy from Pure Pleasure for her birthday. What a gentleman. What a gentleman.
So that was how it
used?
came up. So that's how it came up, right? The idea of going to the sodomy barn or Pure Pleasure.
Yes, picking something out for April for her birthday.
So you're gonna go with him to buy a sex toy for your wife.
Was it remarkably uncomfortable? Yes.
Okay.
Gay as actually, it was more Kayla who ended up picking it out. But like, it was like the two of them were like, we want to buy April something for her birthday.
What did you buy? What did they buy? What did they purchase?
Some kind of vibrator thing. I don't even know.
Was it used or new?
Did I ever tell you that Nick brought a St. Andrew's cross to a hotel?
Wait, what?
Go ahead. Wait, what?
Okay, go ahead. Explain.
Thing, you know, the St. Andrew's.
The sex cross?
Yeah.
Okay. Now listen, start telling us some of these stories with the sex cross or
like this was the first time we ever switched partners.
Okay.
Nick wanted to show off his big sex cross that he had, so he fucking packed it with him when we went out for his birthday in Minneapolis. Like he brought this big fucking sex cross and then put it up like it was normal. And like, there's a lot of red flags here as I look back where I went, I should have fucking gotten the shit out of here a long time ago.
No shit.
When there's a giant sex cross in a hotel room. And
what
is
was
the sex
going through
cross?
your mind when he unveiled the sex cross?
What is the sex cross?
I can tell you, quote, what my thought was in my head was, why the fuck is there a giant sucking fucking sex cross in the middle of a hotel room?
And then did he fuck your wife on the sex cross?
No, he didn't. Nobody got fucked on the sex cross that night.
Can I ask, what is the sex cross? What is
like,
it?
you know the Bolton family sigil in Game of Thrones?
Sure.
Yes.
Kind of like that. It's the X.
And then
so you put
it's
somebody
like,
on it. You put somebody
like
on
Undertaker put
really
Stone Cold on.
Undertaker, I'm gonna get your ass, you son of a bitch.
How do you bring it? Like, do you bring it in a big duffel bag? Like what the
giant. It's in a giant bag.
What the Like, holy shit.
How weird is it that a safe full of cocaine is the second weirdest thing you bring to a hotel room?
Okay, tell us about some of the other degenerate sex toys that he owned. What else did he have?
I remember April and I walked into their bedroom once, and they were clothed, but they had their sex swing set up, and they were like, "You guys want to try this?" And we're both like, "It's a little, little sudden."
Yeah, can you
at the moment.
explain
I think
like
we're
it's a
good.
sex swing?
Yeah, just you sit in it. As Kayla described it to me, she goes, "No, Aaron, I sit in it and you f me."
Did you f her in the sex swing?
I didn't do the sex swing.
Why not?
Just the opportunity never came up. We were
Well, it was right there.
No, they set it up. Like, and they took it down after, like, they showed it to us. Like, it wasn't, like, always up.
Okay.
It's not like you walk in there, like, their kids walk in and there's a
So they
fucking
like hung it like on like a fucking chain or something, right?
So
like,
it was-
Andy, don't you ever show off your sex swing for your friends?
yeah, all the time. Yeah, what the fuck is wrong?
So
what
he
other
was
sex
gonna
toys?
build a sex dungeon, right?
Oh, yeah, he talked about the sex dungeon before.
I thought that was a meme.
No, he wanted to build a sex dungeon.
Was
Tell
it
us
beside
about
the
the
kids?
sex dungeon.
I don't remember the specifics of the sex dungeon. In my head over time, the legend has grown. I was thinking maybe there's like a candelabra and he turns it to the right and a wall opens up, but I don't know. That's just my own machinations.
Okay, what other sex toys are we talking about here? It's sex swing, sex cross. Go on.
He always wore a butt plug. And no, I'm just kidding. I'm just
What?
guys,
No,
I'm
you
kidding.
made
I'm joking. Guys, I'm
What
kidding.
actually was going
No.
on? Like,
You may as well.
you know, at this point,
At this point, just go.
As far as sex toys go, I don't remember other ones.
Like
Okay, so-
vibrators, fucking
yeah, I don't-
beads.
I remember the
you're telling me that this guy went to the Pure Pleasure store and regularly, and yet the only sex toys he had were a sex swing and a
No,
sex
I'm not saying
cross?
those are the only sex toys. They had a whole dresser that was full of sex
A
toys.
dresser.
Yeah, dresser with
dresser.
multiple shelves. Yeah, the whole thing.
Not just like a night table. It was the full on.
And he
Okay.
showed you it was
And
like
they
the
can't
bat cave of
You
gooning.
lucky ass motherfucker. No.
So it was like the bat cave of gooning. And so did he like pull out the drawers and like explain
No.
various tools that he had?
No.
Then how are you aware then of the dresser full of sex toys?
It was probably the times they pointed at it and said, "That's our dresser full of sex toys."
They just said that, like
Yeah.
this is just casually. This is our dresser full
Well,
of.
you have the cupboard that your plates are in. They have a dresser full of sex toys.
Right.
Was
Did
it glass?
Rekeda? Did he ever get pegged?
Not that I ever saw.
It's not a denial.
No, I can't say. No, I'm only speaking to things that I personally experienced. I never saw the man get pegged.
Okay. Let me ask you this: what, like, aside from him going soft, what was the most embarrassing sexual thing that happened with REKIETA?
I would say the day that, you know, the day that April had to come up and ask me for a pill.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's
the
pretty.
same
That
story.
sucks. You know.
Okay,
Super Bowl story.
There was a weird time. Okay, here's a weird before
right.
Super Bowl story.
Sure.
Oh, by the way, Super Bowl story was baseball bat story. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Same one. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So, God damn it. This was a goddamn good one. And I can't remember.
Come on.
So what were you saying? Where you were? You said.
You said Super Bowl story, and that sidetracked me.
Well, everyone in chat was asking for Super Bowl. Sorry,
We were
but
talking about sex toys, embarrassing sex stories.
Okay, the worst thing that ever happened was April had to ask for the pill thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we were.
And nope.
Sorry, bar. Okay, how about this? Gay bar. Gay
What about
bar.
gay 90s?
Boys,
Gay
you're gonna
90s.
hate. You're gonna hate this, because I would react the same way you're reacting. I had a fucking blast at that place.
I'm not
Yikes.
surprised.
Q Ashton. No, it was. I like karaoke. It's probably the only thing Nick and I have in common. By the way, Kayla and I had a very special song we would always sing together. I don't even know if I have the strength to listen to it ever again, because it was such a beautiful tune that me and my baby always sang.
What was it?
It was a song by. Now I'm a who loves Eric Church.
Right.
It was a song by Eric Church and Susan Tedeschi called "Mixed Drinks About Feelings."
Right.
And her and I would sing it as a duet. Knock it out every time. Our official song that Kayla picked out, Chris Young, "Who I Am With You." There you go.
Now, did REKIETA and your wife have a special song, or?
It's like degenerate Machine Gun Kelly music. They had no fucking taste, these two. Kayla and I were the soul of things. No,
I see. I gotta ask you, did Nick ever talk about Alyssa clips?
oh yeah, all the time.
Tell us about that.
Tell us,
Did
yeah.
he see it about Alyssa?
Here's the thing. I would always bring up you guys, or I would bring up Alyssa clips, because I would watch it and I would think it's funny, even when they clipped me, because I know what the fucking game is. Like, sometimes you're gonna do dumb shit and people are gonna fuck on you for it, and then other times other people are gonna do dumb shit and you fuck on them for it. So I would let them know, like, oh, I saw this Alyssa clip where I was doing this thing. I go, it was fucking cringe. It was so bad, but it was really funny. Or like you guys, there would be clips of you guys all the time. And like, we'd watch them on our show. And we just like, I just don't take myself very seriously. So if we do something gay and cringe and someone makes fun of it, I watch it for the humor value of it. And no offense, Andy, but Ashton's investigative reporting on the hot tub stream.
Oh, it was
is
great. It was
funniest
amazing.
shit I've ever
I
fucking
know.
watched.
No, dude, it's
These
funny.
guys are complete degenerates.
Well, he goes, Andy, wait till I.
Hey.
He's like, wait till I show you what I got, and I'm like, all right, and I'm like watching, like, whoa.
I gotta ask you.
And the
I loved it.
Baldo is there.
I gotta ask you, man. So
Yeah.
it was your idea to do the hot tub stream. What were you thinking?
I was just neck deep in pussy, and the girls thought it would be fun. So.
Okay, so let's talk about the decision-making process that led to the hot tub stream, because it was basically you guys almost openly coming out that you were in like a poly.
See, that was my idea. My idea was, we'll be so in your face with it that they'll be like, there's no fucking way they're actually doing it. Nobody would be this fucking retarded to do this. And instead, what you guys all did was just went, oh, these guys are swinging and they're just retarded.
May I say one thing then? On your show, you're like, Andy wants to believe it's true. I was right.
You know what I was doing, Andy?
What?
Lying.
All right.
I was lying.
So nobody.
I was lying.
Let's go.
So I was lying so that on Twitter for the last 72 hours, people wouldn't call me a cuck.
Ring it
I
up.
know. Okay, so what did REKIETA say? He thought it was a good idea to do this?
Well, he was in it, so of course it was brilliant.
Oh my God.
He never thinks he does anything wrong. Dude, I mean, some of the, like, I've always said this about like Kiwi Farms and other places, like some of the theories people come up with, 20% of them are fucking insane.
Yeah.
50% of them, there's some truth to it. 30% of them, it's like they're in the fucking room. I have thought before, I've been like, is the ex-nanny leaking information? Am I sleep texting people? Like, how the fuck? Like, because this is like spot fucking on.
Because it seems like in this circumstance, with a lot of what you're saying, everybody was right, you know?
Yeah, and I lied my balls off to protect everybody involved. But now that they all got fucking arrested and humiliated me, and then when I contact them, they're all still in denial that they have any sort of problem. And then one of these motherfuckers left deadly amounts of cocaine next to my 4-year-old. I don't give a fuck if I bury you under the jail. I don't owe these people any fucking loyalty. It could have destroyed my fucking life. I made terrible decisions, and it was all with
that's
them.
okay. What did you know anything about Mandy, or did REKIETA ever mention Mandy and what happened there?
I read the history of Mandy, so I don't know if he ever talked about it, but I know I read the lore. I can't remember if he ever discussed it.
Okay. What about Dick Masterson? Did he ever talk about Dick?
Oh, yeah, he talked about Dick Masterson, and love Dick Masterson. Oh, he's a cool guy. Oh, he thinks you guys are really funny, too, and we'll hang out with Dick Masterson and blah, blah, blah. And he used to tell people, and he's not close with a lot of people. It's unfortunate. He always says, like, I feel like I have to buy friends. And then I see the way he treats people who don't 100% go along with what he wants. And I'm like, well, now I understand why this guy thinks he has to buy friends. But Dick Masterson was always, he goes, I told Dick, I've never seen Kayla more happy in years than when she's with you. And I just told him how great. I'm like, Nick, you probably shouldn't tell too many fucking people that. That's weird.
Wow.
People are going to hear that and they're going to go, that's a little fucking creepy.
So you're saying Dick Masterson was aware this whole time of the swinging arrangement? And
I don't know if he knew how deep it went, but he knew that I had gotten very close with Kayla. And I'm sure Nick probably told him that he had gotten very close with April.
Right. Okay. And what other things would he say about just that he was so cool, that he looked
Yeah,
up
and Vito.
to
How
him?
about Vito?
And
How about
live
Vito?
events they'd done. So I had always heard the allegations about Vito, and I would ask Nick about them because I'm not as into the
He's
sector.
a self-admitted map respecter. That guy.
Well, now see what Nick says. What Nick says is that people say that about him because Vito came out and defended the movie Cuties and said, if you don't like it, don't watch it. And so people started calling him a pedophile.
There was a lot more than that, but yeah, go ahead.
I'm telling you, that's all he told me.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Did Dick Masterson know REKIETA was using coke or drugs?
No idea. I don't know.
You don't
And
know
Nick,
how
and
open
Dick
he was
Masterson
to
has
that?
only been nothing but nice to me in the very few interactions we've had.
So REKIETA was willing to tell Dick Masterson that somebody else was fucking his wife, but not that he was going to do coke?
Again, I don't know if he said fucking. He just said, Aaron, has made Kayla happier than I've seen her in years. He didn't say anything about.
Do you know if Dick and 80s Girl were swinging with REKIETA and Kayla, or
I never got that idea. No,
you didn't get that idea?
no, I didn't get that vibe when they talk about him.
Tell us about the couch story.
That was the the couch story was the next to my daughter.
That we already did the couch story.
Yes.
The embarrassing sex thing. I remember what it was now.
Beauty, go.
Good.
Kayla had gotten me a birthday present. I'm a cigar smoker. I like to smoke cigars every once in a while. And she got me this beautiful ostrich skin zip up cigar humidor with cigar holders and, humidity trackers and everything. It's just really a nice cutter in there, a nice lighter. It was just really nice cigar set. And Nick goes, oh, I want her to present your gift to you. And so Kayla got completely naked, came down the stairs. This is at my house. I was seated on the couch. And Nick was seated on the couch too.
What?
And she brought the gift down to me and sat on my lap and gave it to me. But Nick's right there.
Oh
And
my God.
I remember that was fucking weird to me. And then he goes I'm going to leave you two alone. So then he goes upstairs and Kayla and I are on the couch. And I'm totally not getting into it because I can see Nick peeking around the door.
So Nick was watching you fuck his wife.
Well, no, I wasn't.
She's on his lap. Yeah.
I couldn't fuck her. I was on top. I got on top of her on the couch and we're making out, we're fucking around and shit. But every once in a while out of the corner of my eye, I can see Nick peering around the door. And I finally just went, because we were going to go out to lunch after I opened the gift. And I go, guys, can we just fucking go out to lunch? I can't do this with people fucking staring at me and like peeking around the door. And he's like, oh, sorry. I just want to know like what you guys were doing. So maybe I know what we should do. And I'm like, I don't need an explanation. If some guy is fucking staring around the corner, fucking watching me, I'm not into it. Sorry. There were so many instances where Nick wanted to know what Kayla and I were doing.
You didn't like being the bull, basically, and having him watch. That was
I liked having my own time with my sweet baby Kayla, with the gorgeous love of my life, beautiful. If you see this, honey, take care of yourself. I hope you're all right. But no, there was.
Why do you think REKIETA wanted to watch you with his wife?
There was a weird vibe I got where I don't know if he wanted to watch, because anytime like there was one time where she would always try to sneak a little when we were in the bed and other people would be there, almost like to see if she could get away with it. I mean, not that I'm fucking complaining.
Like touching you and shit when you're like everyone's sleeping,
like putting me in.
Whoa, okay.
And then one time we got into it and she went and reached for Nick's hand and he got his hand away and left the room. He's like, no, I'm not into that, because he didn't know anything was going on. So like we would get really kind of risque with our shit every once in a while. And we got her and I would get talking tos from Nick and April quite a bit. I know I got a talking to for our behavior, which always struck me as fucked up and weird, because I'm like, sorry, just the two of us are doing our thing, and you know, we're not busting down the door to see what the fuck you guys are doing. Like it's just weird. They were like, Nick would be like, well, you guys, and because when Nick was down doing his show, April would sit down there and watch.
Right.
She would watch him do his show, and Kayla and I would be upstairs free to do what we like.
May I ask you the setup? Like the setup real quick before? Can you remember that story?
She was a corner demon.
Was there like a couch there and a table with booze on it?
Because chair, she'd sit in a chair.
Just a chair. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. And sometimes they'd come up for that 1 hour break, and Kayla and I would be a little busy, and Nick would knock on the door, or they'd walk in sometimes, and that was always a little weird. Where they just walk. I remember one time we were at my house, and Nick walked in, and Kayla was on top of me, and Nick lost his fucking mind. Keep in mind there was a closed fucking door. Kayla's on top of me. Nick loses mind. We stop. Kayla's in the bed. The door's open. I see Nick out the door. I'm like, Nick, sorry that you had to say it. No, don't you fucking talk to me. Not now. And he's like on the verge of tears, like yelling at us. And I'm like, we didn't fucking ask you to come in. There was always these weird times where like Nick would text me, like I told you earlier, asking me where I touched her. Or like one time they walked in from taking a break on his show, and Kayla and I were kissing, and he's like, what else did you guys do? What did you do except kiss? I'm like, I don't think we did anything. We were just fucking around. No, I need to know what you like. He needed to know what was like what he walked in on, and I'm like,
did you guys use condoms?
I'm taken care of. Like I've had 3 kids.
Yeah.
I'm fine, so
you f***ed Miss Racket's bareback and busted in her.
I mean, is this a?
You did.
I alternated. A little of column A, a little of column B.
Come on.
You raw dogged her. You raw dogged her.
You glazed her, huh?
Condoms are gay.
So you glazed her. You glazed her.
Did you go in the back door?
I did
Any
not.
facials?
No.
Yes, there were.
No.
I saw your face. You facialed her.
I don't need
your
fucking
cum was all over Kayla's face.
Walter Cronkite Ashton over here going, oh, I've been investigating, and your face.
I've been investigating, and the facial expressions that you give lead me to conclude you facialed his wife.
L.A. Noir?
No, I didn't facial Kayla. She's a sweet girl. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that to my baby. I couldn't do that to my baby. I couldn't do that to my baby.
Listen, if you're on
Did
drugs,
you finish on her
facials
tits?
or whatever.
I mean, how do you not?
Okay.
You finished on her tits.
All right.
What are you, gay?
And you said no anal.
We need to know.
Like I said, boys, a little of column A, a little of column B.
Was there a cream pie sash?
do we need to? I mean, how far do we need to go into this?
Was there cream pie?
All the way.
That's the
Well, look,
line.
sometimes things just feel good. You don't need to, I mean, we've all f***ed before.
69.
Don't remember. I don't recall.
Don't recall.
You
really
don't
don't.
recall like a lawyer now?
Fucking things
On
I'm
the
admitting to?
stand?
No, do you hear the things I'm admitting to? Like I would fucking say, like I don't remember.
Holy
You guys are asking a lot of things. I don't like how many questions you guys are asking about my sweet baby's pussy.
All right. No, that's fair. Well, Ash. By the way, and Aaron. I mean, like we did have Sean booked for 10
But
p.m.
listen,
Eastern.
we're going to push him back just a little bit.
Yeah. I'll just say that. Yes.
Let's,
I'll tell him.
Let me ask you about something. So in the reports from the jail, they said that Kayla asked for her prescription bottle, and there was like stuff in there was like a gummy and a couple other things that weren't supposed to be in the prescription bottle. Do you know what that was?
I don't. I will say this, and this isn't me trying to protect anyone or anything like that. I only ever saw Kayla take her prescription medication. I mean, when it wasn't like when they were doing cocaine and everything, but like I only saw her take the pills that she took for those days. She had prescriptions that she took in the morning and in the evening for sleep conditions. That's all I ever saw.
I'm going to get into some of our super chats here just so that they have a chance. Chef Red Pill for $15 asked, did Nick ever inject anything? If not, then how did he get sores on his arms? What drugs was he doing apart from coke and Molly?
I only saw him do cocaine and Molly. As far as the sores on his arms, I never saw him inject anything. The only thing I can explain that as is maybe scratching. I know his hands shook constantly. He couldn't stop his hands from shaking. But maybe there was scratching. I don't know. When I saw that in the police report too, that confused me because I don't. You got to remember, I've also been gone for 7 weeks, so there's a chance. I don't know. Anything could happen. But
what about
it's my testimony here is what I've seen.
What about the ketamine that the police found?
He talked about how he had done ketamine in the past. I was never aware of him having or taking ketamine.
Okay. What do you think about the brown that the police found?
That confuses me too. I'm not sure what that is. I don't know.
Or Molly powder, right?
I mean, and the scale, I know the scale he used to measure out Molly doses. You got to.
Yeah, the brown may be Molly because it is brown at times.
What about the
Molly wasn't brown though?
Okay.
What about the spent gun shell casing? Do you think he was f***ing around with guns, or did you ever see him f*** around with guns, or what do you think that is?
I didn't even know that gun was under the bed, or I would have said something about it. I don't think you should have just a loaded gun under your bed where your kids come and say goodnight. That's a little off to me. Maybe keep it somewhere else.
Okay. Do you know anything about the Sonitude demon? Asked Coultergeist. What are your thoughts on that subject?
I've heard about it since the arrest. I'm not well versed in it enough. I just know enough to know I don't want one. There was a lot of emotional stuff between Kayla and I that I thought would be a little devastating. But from watching all three of them, either publicly or privately, not take any fucking responsibility for what they've done, any amount of feeling bad I've had has kind of gone away because whoever I married, I watched her die a long time ago with all of this stuff.
How long ago do you think?
I would say we were fighting about drugs back in December. I remember telling her, I go, honey, you don't get into this. Like, it's going to be bad news, and she's like, It's only a little bit and it's just to have fun. I don't see what the big deal is. And I go, honey, and she showed me how much she does. I go, but honey, it's going to get like this and like this and like this. And it's going to be more and more days. And then eventually, we're leaving to go do a show in the morning. We had stayed at their house the night before and it's 4 a.m. and she's doing a line of coke to fucking get up and do the show in the morning. And then there's one day where I see her do 2 lines of coke before 8:30 in the morning. And I'm like, this is what I was fucking talking about.
Do you think letting REKIETA f*** your wife at all contributed to the divorce, or was it just going to be a divorce anyway?
I think going down this road sealed the fate of our marriage. Like, I'll tell people if they're ever thinking of doing this because they think it seems glamorous and fun, it's a fucking disaster every time you try it. And then you throw booze and drugs into the mix, you might as well just kiss your marriage goodbye. It's over. I honestly think that once you even suggest it, you're probably done. It's over, either consciously or subconsciously, because I want Kayla. Like,
all right. Well, Captain Cisco for 4 asks, did Kayla like Star Trek Enterprise, or what was her favorite show?
I know she hated Discovery.
Right.
Discovery, she thought was too PC and shit, which I watched a few. I sat up and watched some Star Trek with my beautiful Kayla. I think she liked Enterprise, or she liked the series Picard. She enjoyed that. And then the one that had Picard on it, I can't remember which one that was.
Next Generation. Okay.
Next Generation, yeah.
All right. So I'm glad we know a little bit about her Star Trek preferences. John Potter for 10 asks, did Nick ever talk about Ethan Ralph?
He talked about Ralph once in a while. He would always kind of say that he was okay with him. Like, he and Ralph were okay. They were bad for a while, and now they're okay. But nothing real specific.
Did he tell you about the farting stream where he shit his pants on the stream?
No, he did not tell me about that.
Pretty funny story, by the way.
I've gotten in between you and Ethan apparently here with my dual appearances, and I don't need to get any further in between you and
fucking Ethan. Oh no.
How do you so we got a question here from the super chat. How do you think all of this is going to affect your kids long term and Rekieta's kids as well?
Rekieta's kids, if they don't get help badly, and I'm worried about it, hopefully they never get them back before they're clean. My children, my ex-wife and I have been on top of this. I've been seeing a therapist. I've learned some tools to talk to the kids about this. Luckily, they don't know too much. But obviously someday they might read about it. And my ex-wife and I have been very proactive in how we communicate that. She's actually been really good about
who has the kids now. Do you know who has Rekieta's kids?
Yes, and I'd rather not say.
Can you say, just to end the speculation?
I don't want to, because all due respect to everyone on the internet, I don't need to be responsible for any lunatics doing anything.
Yes, swatting or something like that.
Do you think that your kids will speak to CPS, or are you worried about a CPS investigation? Because you said that your 4-year-old was like touching cocaine.
She did not touch cocaine. It was sitting next to her, but yeah. No, I mean, I've been very open about everything. Like I said, with my ex-wife and everything else, she knows all of it. And
a lot of people, yeah. Sorry.
It wasn't me who did it. So.
Yeah.
We got Vulcan who asks, Aaron, can you look at the camera and say, my name is Aaron and I've been felted? Let me see here.
Wait, I think he's going to do it.
My name is Aaron Imholt, and I've been felted.
Truer words have never really been spoken. Like, I don't know what to say. Okay, we got a question here from Figure again for 5. He says, how much coke would Nick take per day on average?
Ooh.
You know?
Like, I don't know too much about it, but a lot.
How often did he buy, and how much did he get each time?
God, I don't know. I do have an interesting buy story, though. It would be a few weeks ago. We were getting into this story. We never finished it.
Okay.
Kayla and I had met up on neutral ground, and she said, I've been clean for a few days. I go, that's fantastic. I'm proud of you. And she said, when we ran out last time, I said, that was it. We're not going to get any more. This is a story I got from Kayla. That's how I want to preface this. She said, when we ran out, I said, we're not getting any more. And Nick agreed. When we ran out, April threw a fit and said she would go by herself to go get more. And I told them, and Kayla said, I told them no. And then Nick and I had a fight. And he said, I'm not going to let her go to Minneapolis by herself and, go get more or anything like this. So I'm going to go with her and blah, blah. And Kayla was really upset and dejected about that. Nick rationalized it, the whole deal. That was the story I got from Kayla. And I believe that may have been the actual package that they got busted with. So Kayla did try to get it to stop.
Okay. And then did Nick share coke with anybody other than you and April?
Not that I ever saw.
Not that you saw.
Not that I ever saw. I can't say yes, can't say no, but not that I ever experienced or saw.
And how much did
I'll point this out. Nick never took money for any of it.
But I was going to follow. How much did he give away? Do you know?
It was always, he was gratis. He's always on the house, so to speak.
He was always giving it away. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see here. Who else asked a question? LawTube, somebody here says you really need to buckle up, Aaron, because LawTube is not going to be happy about this stream. Somebody here, Greed, says show text or it never happened. Well, I imagine the next step is are you going to be revealing text messages
on
to
your show or something?
corroborate this story? Because you have said a lot. So, people are going to be pressing you on this, and a lot of these people are like legal magicians. So
yeah, no, I do. I have an appointment coming up where all of that will be divulged. I'll give all of that away to the people.
Yeah. You were saying you were going to talk to the police and basically tell them everything you need to tell them.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I like watching how fucking smug he was at his arraignment and watching how fucking smug he is now. I mean, if those kids are going to have any fucking chance, then there needs to be serious consequences.
I agree.
I agree too.
I agree. There does need to be very serious consequences, like at a bare minimum.
I need to like work on absolving myself of the shit I did and the things I didn't do to protect those children or protect anybody in that house and the role I played in it. So
how did you justify it to yourself to leave those children in a filthy drug den, Aaron?
It was I had 3 kids of my own, and
that makes it worse.
I was looking out for mine, and I was removing us from the situation.
But you're 37 years old though, right, Aaron? Like you're a grown-ass man with 3 kids, and you decided to snort coke and open your marriage and let this guy fuck your wife and expose this degenerate to your children, and you never thought maybe I should be the one to report it? Maybe it shouldn't come down to the church pastor or whatever.
I did think it. No, you're right. No, you're 100% right. I did think it. I didn't have the balls to pull the trigger. That pastor.
But you did have the balls to do coke and fuck another man's wife, but not the balls to pick up the phone.
I'm not fighting
and get
you
them
on
help.
Yeah. I'm not fighting you on that. It's a it's something I got to live with. It's a mistake I made. It's shameful. Like it's the word I keep using is it's shameful. Like I'm going to have to work that off, I guess, in a spiritual sense for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
there's nothing okay with what I did. I mean, the only okay thing I did was stop.
Yeah.
That's it.
I agree with you.
Everything else is it's unholy.
Yeah.
I agree.
And it's shameful, yeah.
I can't help but get a bit pissed. But
I'm not going to fight you on it. You have every right to get pissed. Everything we did was degenerate and disgusting, and unfortunately, only one person can say that. I wish everybody could say it. I wish everybody could admit it.
Creallen says the part of the kids not knowing about the drug use I find hard to believe as someone that had family that abused drugs. I can till this day immediately notice if they've had as little as 1 or 2 beers. So the kids definitely noticed. I mean, like REKIETA's kids, they knew what was going on, man.
I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm saying I don't know because my answer would be, God, I hope not. I really hope not. But if they do, and if they did, then, God help us all, because we're all pieces of shit for that coming out. It's funny. We were always worried about not showing affection to the other spouse in front of the children because we didn't want them to know about that part. But I will say this, I never saw drugs consumed in front of children.
Okay.
I will say that I never saw drugs used in front of children. It was always in the back, in the bathroom of the master
Glib
bed.
for 777 asks, Aaron, have you gotten a battery of STD tests yet? You should, and I would. And then 6 months ago from now, have you taken any sort of STD test?
I have had a few tests, and all systems go, boys.
All right, good.
Okay, that's positive.
That's a tough.
Yeah.
B. Dever, the one-armed bandit for 10 asks, Aaron, can you confirm he has a trust fund? Are you aware how much per week, per month?
I can only speak to its existence. I can't speak to amounts.
Was he on the board of the charity, or is it just like a tugboat, like cash infusion?
I don't know. I didn't get into his finances or anything like that. No.
Okay, we got Chef Red Pill. Is it true that Nick was giving his nanny $3,000 a month for snacks for his kids, or was he only buying snacks for his nose?
What I do know is that Nick would complain sometimes that the nanny would turn in Walmart bills or grocery store bills for $3,000 in a month. That's what I remember of the $3,000 or $4,000.
Okay. I Punch Puppy for 5 says, you deserve this for leaving your first wife while she was pregnant with your third child. How funny is this to her? You asked for this. Now, do you have, like, is that true that you left your...
Let's clear up the...
I heard it was bullshit, but go ahead.
Yeah, so April and I met 3 years after my divorce was finalized. Like, that was over for a long time. I did cheat on my first wife. Total garbage. It's such a white trash story. We got divorced, and then while we were going through the divorce, we hooked up, and she got pregnant. We didn't want to be married anymore. This was like the worst possible fucking case scenario, and we still went through with the divorce. So I didn't leave my wife while she was pregnant. Believe me, she was done with me too. Once she got pregnant, we had a weak moment while we were getting divorced. We took the kids to the playground, the 2 kids that we had at the time. And then when we came home, we went to the bedroom and we conceived another child.
Right. Anonymous for 10 asks, he says, Minnesota got like no snow this year. So what's true? How can the snow angel story be true?
Oh, we got some snow. I have pictures of the snow angels.
Really?
Shit, dude.
You should tweet it out.
I mean, I don't want to show I'm not ready for, oh God, I can't show you guys those pictures. Oh, my sweet baby.
So you're implying with that you have nude pictures of Mrs. Rackets to back up this whole story.
Oh, I took this one in the morning after, and my dog had peed on the snow angel, that dick. Here's one of the, I don't know how well.
Okay. I see. Okay, there are actually snow angels.
Well, Nick also has plenty of snow, huh?
That's why we didn't get much this year.
I don't even know.
This one must have been my snow angel. This looks like an impatient. No, the other one was Kayla's beautiful snow angel. I think that one was mine. I remember it being very cold. She dealt with it much better.
These stories have been wild, but not surprising. To be honest.
I'm going to ask you again, just coming out of this break, are you planning on testifying in court if this should go to trial?
As Tommy once said in Shawshank Redemption, just give me that chance.
Whoa.
Wow. So, I mean, you're of the opinion that Rekieta should, settle these charges.
His arrogance has made me fucking sick. I would have shut my mouth, but that stream where I know my wife was on it, and then talking to the other 2, well, not talking to, getting messages from the other 2 since they've been out of jail, and showing that they haven't learned a fucking thing from this. I didn't feel bad. Like, guys, I'll be honest. I was gonna maybe keep a couple of things, play them close to the vest here until Ashton went, "Come on, you know more." But it was. But once
you've made the right choice.
Thank you, buddy. Once I heard from all 3 of them, either Nick's public disgusting fucking copes, and then getting messages from the other two showing that all they give a shit is about me keeping silent so they can save themselves instead of admitting what they did wrong and repenting. Like, I'm the only one here who seems sorry for what I did. And I'm the only one who got away before I could get busted. But rest assured, if they would have, just listened to me on a couple of things, I probably would have been there getting arrested too. I mean,
damn.
And as far as Nick saying to the cops that April was just visiting, then why, when she moved her clothes out of my house, did she put them all in the REKIETA's house? And why did Kayla say to me, I'm fucking furious, there's another woman who's moved into my house in my bedroom?
What have they been texting you?
I think you guys saw on Twitter the April text. I think Ethan Ralph, she messaged Ethan Ralph. Why she would, I don't know. Nothing against Ralph. It's just, why? She had this weird boilerplate text that she sent out to everyone. And to me, it was, charges have been dropped. I'm not an addict. Somebody did this to me.
Yeah.
And to me, that is such a fucking addict answer to something. Like, just this whole, I'm a victim. It was me. Like my friend Gino Bisconti said on his show yesterday, you were caught in a house with drugs, guns, and children. Don't say anything was done to you. Don't say you're innocent. You were handed a literal get out of jail free card. And also, this is what a great operator Nick REKIETA is. This is fucking brilliant on his part, the way he can prey on people. He told cops that she was just visiting, so the charges get dropped. So then Nick can go back to April, and instead of going, yeah, I gave you coke, I got you into this downward spiral, I helped you into this world of degeneracy, she'll now think, my white angel, my beautiful angel Nick saved me when the chips were down.
I think she's just throwing everyone under the bus.
Have you already archived all of the messages on the Signal app and everything? Because you should do that. Because
I'll be honest about the Signal app. A lot of those messages have been deleted by the other party. I screenshotted what I could.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't, because when they got but until they got arrested, I didn't think I'd need these Signal messages.
Yeah.
But on Signal, you can delete your messages so they can't be visible.
Okay.
Right.
So by the time they got arrested and everything, I do have text messages from 2 of the 3 of them. I'm sure if I went back in my texts with Nick, I'm sure I have a few text messages, but Nick's a pretty slippery dude. He only operates on encrypted apps.
Yeah. Okay. Do we want to bring Sean on at this point?
Yes. And I was going to say, real fast, my opinion, I think April, like the reason that she's not being honest is she's throwing everyone under the bus. She is going to do whatever she can to be the victim. And, well, f you, Nick. F you, Kayla. You're going to get this. You're going to, yeah, I'll sing. I'll talk.
Gino read a text from her that kind of blows Nick's story out of the water. And that was, she sent Gino a text that said, when my life was hard, these people have given me a place to live. And that kind of conflicts. And the messages I got from April.
Do you know where she's living now?
No idea, and I don't want to.
How would you react, or how would you feel if she had if she goes down to Mexico and fucks Ralph for drugs?
I'm glad it was after me.
Yeah, I mean that's about the best answer you can give.
Right,
at this
that's
point.
about it. I'm glad
What do you think the likelihood of that is? Because she obviously wants to be like in an e-celeb type relationship, do drugs, and have no accountability. I mean, he would fit in well with the lifestyle she wants to live, right?
Are you, I mean, you've got a pretty decent sized following there, Ashton. I mean,
you think I should f April too, buddy? Is that what you're recommending, bud?
No, you put the image of Ralph f***ing in my head and you upset me, so I was trying to throw it off.